our adventure picks up in a small village, seaside village, just west of the Sea of Swords on the larger island of Moonshay. This village is called Cobb. You came to this village fleeing from kobolds who had invaded Hoots McAllister's village, and you met Hoots as Hoots was fleeing from these kobolds, actually running for his life. And you were at that time with a group of archaeologists, Manon, you and Thrax, and you had been given a vision quest from your deity, the Platinum Dragon Bahamut, and you had been given the vision to look for a symbol of wisdom. And the moment that Hoots landed on the cart, you knew that your vision had taken you to the place you needed to be. At that time, Kitty Softpaws revealed herself and was instrumental in leading you to evade these kobolds. But you found yourself in a dense, thick forest, these kobolds chasing you, and you encountered a couple trolls. You escaped from the trolls to find a somewhat friendly dryad who was not super enthusiastic that you were in her forest without permission, but more than being irritated with you, she was irritated with these archaeologists who kept coming to this ruined castle at the seaside and had awakened some undead menace there. She recognized Hoots as an Owlin, and that sort of made her more friendly and open to dealing with you. And at that point, she noticed that Manon was a cleric of Bahamut and asked if Manon might be able to remove curses. Manon agreed that she could, and at that stage, the Dryad asked you to investigate these ruins and potentially remove a curse from the bones of an ancient wizard who once inhabited that place. You did make a foray into the dungeon, but it didn't go really well. There were powerful undead there, multiple zombies. You did escape, somewhat the worse for wear, but decided on balance that you would continue on the quest to help Hoots travel to a village called Airy, which is an Owlin space where you could investigate the secret parchment that Hoots possessed, given to him by his uncle Archimedes. You were able to solve a riddle and then read the parchment, which was a letter from Archimedes telling Hoots to seek out his good friend Cersei Dustfeathers in the village of the Owlin village of Airy. So you decided to pursue that course, but the only path was to flee along the coastline to Cobb, which you all had some understanding of the geography of the space. It was a difficult, dangerous journey. You were all exhausted. One interesting thing to note: you met
Felix.
a tabaxi on the way named Felix Khalif, and Felix gave you a pair of dice, Kitty, and then the rest of the way to Cobb was fairly uneventful. You arrived here, you had a shopping trip, you met a few people, you killed some kobolds that were obviously looking for Hoots, and we are going to pick up the night before you are to take passage on a ship called the Cheerless. You are at the Green Dragon Inn, more or less where your tokens are on the map, and you are planning on leaving in the morning. They told you to be essentially near the docks around 10 a.m. tomorrow, and that's where we'll pick up. Any questions on any of that?
No, great recap.
Okay. Hopefully in the future we can just kind of keep a little up to date on the YouTubes. So it is. We're going to pick up. It's quiet in the tavern this evening. I did want to kind of cover real quick that in case anyone is wondering, these taverns are not like we would have now. It's not like there's a room with a bathroom in it and a kitchenette or whatever. These are more like common rooms that like 8 people could share. So you have let one. You've already paid for tonight. This is your second night staying in. You did recover the before. So you have prepaid 6 gold pieces to the cheerless. You owe them another 6 after the journey. Anyway, you're inside. Remember, we're in early November. You're warming yourself by the fire. You're having a bit of a passable meal. Hoots, you might be starting to miss Kipper, as the food in the wider world is somewhat lacking in quality, although there's a lot of variety for you. Not much is going on. It's pretty quiet. When the town guards arrived, you may remember that you met a couple of town guards, Ian and Tom, I believe, and they are looking for you. You're sort of out in the open. They're looking for your entire group.
Okay.
And it's not difficult for them. They sort of key on your location and come toward you. Their spears held, not in an aggressive manner. And they say, "Greetings.
Oh,
See,
good
you are
morning.
enjoying our lovely town's hospitality."
Good morning. Ooh.
It's actually the night before. We're going to pick up the night before. Sorry.
Good evening. Ooh.
Good evening. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. We've been asked by the Council of Cobb to just come by and make sure that you got the latest information. We've looked into these kobolds, and we all agree that you all had nothing to do with it. That, in fact, we wanted to extend our gratitude to you for ridding these vile creatures from our village. And we have doubled the guard along the southern border in case more might try to come in. But go with our blessing and enjoy your stay. The council would like to pay for your firewood tonight. So he drops 3 silver pieces on the table, and if there's nothing you would like from me, then I will bid you adieu.
Oh, thank you so much for protecting us throughout the night. This is mighty fine accommodations. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And he sort of, salutes you with his spear, turns on his heel, and walks out. The few folk that are in the common room right now are, sort of duly impressed. They look about and they're like, okay. And you see a few people like raise their glasses to your group. And Hoots, you see Thrax is sitting right next to you, and he sort of elbows you. Oh, we're doing all right then. Hey, that reminds me, Hoots. And he reaches into his pack and pulls out a tiny tankard, like a shot glass sized tankard. I found this for you. And he fills it with ale, and then he's like, drink up! And he belts down his big pint.
Thank you.
And so you're just sort of sitting there having a bit of a drink and enjoying this warm common room. Is there anything you'd like to do before you tuck in for the night?
Looking at... No, I don't have a musical instrument, nor am I proficient in anything like that. None from the Owlin. I will just get nice and warm and toasty with my little tinker, because it would have been impressive to try and hold on to like a big old, ale itself, like those normal glasses. But no, I'm just gonna sit cozily and let the ale kind of warm up my spirits or my feathers a bit.
Okay, and you are definitely feeling more positive than you did just a day and a half ago. Kitty, would you roll a perception check?
With disadvantage or normal?
I think normal is...
Normal?
Yeah.
Perception. Boom. Look at that dice roll.
Nice.
Let's get in the habit of just stating the number so that when we're listening back we can...
Perfect. 19.
19. So you're looking at the little tankard that Thrax gave to Hoots, and you recognize there was a whole row of them at the fast boat where the gnome shopkeeper was, and you certainly don't recall Thrax paying for any tankards.
I look curiously over at Thrax, and and I eye him, and I look down at the shot glass, and I look back at him, and then I give a head nod with also a curious, raise of the eyebrow. And he knows, because he also has Thieves' Cant.
And he all but kind of shrugs and pours you from the pitcher another tankard full, clacks it with you, and then downs it in one go. You all have the idea that Thrax maybe isn't super good at downtime. So, anything else you'd like to do before you call it an evening?
Drink up, man, on. It's so good, I swear. I've never had such a timely time.
Can't hold his liquor, can he?
All right. Cheers, Hoots.
Cheers.
Kitty looks over at Manon and says, "You better keep an eye on that one tonight."
So this goes on for a few hours. Hoots, you do manage to stagger back to the room, sort of leaning on Thrax's hip, and he more or less like picks you up and like poof, and like tosses you across the room. Poof. And basically, these are not like like hotel room beds. These are like pallets. And you kind of provide your own blankets, right? And so your bedrolls that you pack, you sort of have to make your own little make-do kind of thing. But you did pass along the 3 silver pieces that had been given to you, and there's a nice pile of firewood dried by the hearth. And you all kind of look at each other like, who's going to start the fire? Let's all just do a D20 roll. You will, Nana? Okay.
Yeah.
Thrax is happy to let you do that. He kind of doesn't really actually unpack his bedroll or anything. He just sort of goes face first onto his wooden pallet and pretty much immediately starts snoring. So mind you, and you're in like a large kind of a single room with like a fireplace at one end, and it's it's shelter, but the wind is a little bit howling outside and kind of rattling the shutter. There's a draft. And so it's cold, and you definitely do appreciate the fire. As the night wears on, Manon, once in a while you kind of get up to put a log on the fire. I'm not gonna tell you guys whether to set a watch or not, but if you do want to set a watch, go ahead and interrupt me while I'm narrating. But that's completely up to you. You do feel like this is a safe place, with the guards having said that they would keep an eye on the town.
Yeah, I feel like downstairs I just kind of nursed my beer and watched everybody, enjoy their time and just kind of relax a little bit. So I feel like I'm a little more aware.
Alert. You're a little more alert. Okay.
Yeah.
One other bit of housekeeping. If we're in the middle of a narrative and people are talking and multiple people want to get something said, and you want to make sure you do something or tend to something, you can put it in the chat, either in Roll20 or in Zoom. And then that way it's memorialized. If you say, I, pick up the thing, and then you forget to verbalize that, because it's in the chat, we'll reference back to it, and it will be as if it happened. Okay? Because sometimes you don't want to interrupt other people, and then you'll forget to say the thing you wanted to say. Okay. So Manon, you sort of more or less, being the less trusting sort, you're sort of sitting on your pallet watching Thrax sort of enviously, the way that he can just sleep anywhere at any time. And you're not sure if Kitty's actually asleep. Hard to tell. Kitty, do me a favor, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez Louise. Right
I
to
know.
We're getting right into it. You have a strong desire to curl up, like to drag your pallet right in front of the fire, but you don't want to like show other people that you're cold.
Yeah, that's likely.
So you're kind of like with your back to Manon, just kind of thinking about it. But maybe just after midnight, you hear rain start to patter on the roof, and the patter goes on for half an hour before it starts to become an absolute like, downpour. And there are even a few leaks and drips in the roof, so that possibly a few drips hit Thrax, and then he rolls over off of the pallet. Doesn't seem to be too bothered. But the night goes on much like that, with the rain hammering down, and by morning it's still hammering down. But the sunlight, it's clearly daytime as the four of you start to awaken. Again, you've had this one common room to yourself, but the rain is still pattering, and you have accomplished another long rest. What would you like to do?
We should get some breakfast and then make our way over to the dock so we're not late.
Yep.
I think Hoots is going to need a little extra in his stomach this morning.
That could go badly. You've never been on a ship before.
That's true.
Hoots, as you approach the tavern room, and you feel as if you've got maybe 2 hours to go before you're due at the docks, who's going to part with 3 silver pieces for breakfast?
Who took the 3 pieces that the soldiers gave us?
That was
we used the 3 pieces for the firewood.
Yeah.
Oh, for the firewood. Okay.
Yeah.
I can part with the 3 silver pieces.
Okay. In an absolute, so you put 3 silver pieces down, mark that off your character sheet. Mm-hmm. They bring a hunk of bread and cheese and a small chicken. Please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
A small chicken.
like a whole roaster.
Oh,
it's cold, cooked last night, but
a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
Yes, we'll take the one on the left. You get a little lightheaded, but you don't pass out.
Yes, that happened to be an 11. Oh.
Can I just pat Hoots on the back? Say,
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So presumably you help yourself to bread and cheese, but let's see. I'm going to actually do this real quick for Thrax. Hang on a second.
I feel like I have to fight Thrax and Kitty off this chicken.
Manon, make an intelligence saving throw. Thrax actually rolled a 20.
Wow.
Natural 20 for Thrax. As he at first starts to reach for it, and then he sees you, Hoots. Manon, you start to reach, like you rip off a chunk, like you're going to take a bite of this bird, and Thrax actually slaps your hand. Oh, what was wrong with you? Try to have a little sympathy. And he kind of puts his thumb at Hoots, and he's like, "Oi, barkeep, get this out of our sight!" And he like pushes it off onto the floor, and the barkeep's like, "What?" And then there's like this awkward moment where he kind of points at Hoots and the chicken, and he's like, and the barkeep's, "Oh, I beg your pardon, I beg your pardon," and he kind of cleans it up and brings back some other like dried meats, like salami and a few bites of that. Once again, I apologize. Meant no offense.
Oh, none taken. Just hangover. Much obliged, thank you.
He brings a whole clove of garlic. Surefire hangover cure. Eat this.
This?
Yeah.
It smells pungent.
Yeah, well, no one will want to kiss you, but you'll probably feel better in a bit.
It's best not to question it, Hoots.
I go to do little nibbles. I bite away the skin and the many layers of shells before I bite into the raw bit of the garlic, and I do like a shudder at first, and then I just peck it away, and slowly but surely, it is doing the remedy.
Okay.
It's actually helping.
And Thrax leans over to Manon. He's like, "I never thought that would work."
Me either.
So there's a little bit of a lull in activity, where everyone goes to use the privy, and you're getting ready to go, packing up all of your belongings, making sure you've got everything. Manon, you and Kitty obviously went to one privy, Hoots and Thrax another.
Oh, yes.
But Kitty's still in there when you walk out into the hallway, and you notice Thrax standing in the hallway with, make it a perception check.
Ooh. Oh, 20.
20 altogether, nice. It would appear that he has combed his hair, or attempted to comb his hair. He is also holding in his hands the most ridiculous, pathetic bouquet you've ever seen of like half wildflowers. But he's kind of startled by you as you come out, and there's this moment where the two of you look at each other, and then he kind of looks left and right and eats the bouquet. He's like, what? This roughage, just keeping my diet clean. And, Cody, let's go. Let's get out of here.
I have been worried about your cholesterol, Thrax.
What is that? Is that a cleric thing?
Can I just, like, he's walking out in front of me and I'm just, like, silently giggling behind him.
Fair enough. Yeah. Miss Softpaws, while you are unaware of what's happening out in the hallway, could you please, I'm assuming you're taking the same tact?
Yes, so I got
can you please do the thing?
Yep.
The thing,
Sorry,
we have no idea. What is
this
the
time
thing?
This time she's actually in a private place doing the thing.
Ah.
Oh, that's not bad. That was a whispered roll, so I'm not going to say it.
I was about to say, yeah, should I do that?
Defeat the purpose of it. Mine is a +5, and so you feel as if, yet for another day, you have pushed this responsibility away.
Perfect.
Okay. Once you have had your breakfast, you've cleaned up, you've got all of your belongings, you walk out of the front door of the Green Dragon Inn onto the main thoroughfare, and the roads are a muddy mess. There's almost no one outside, and the rain has now, although it's not a torrential downpour right now, it is still pitter-pattering, and you end up having to walk sort of off to the side as much as you can on the porches of buildings, or across the grass, or anywhere that's not on the street, which you would obviously become sucked into the mud. My friend Manon looks like she hates the mud so much.
Lived through this recently.
But without too much difficulty, you do make it to the shipwrights. I'm going to ping the map to show you guys where that is. And there is a total lack of activity at the docks this morning. Just a few souls moving about a little bit. The human man wearing a sealskin sort of a cloak with a hood is at his station, but he's underneath an awning, looking a bit perturbed as you approach him to ask him questions.
Can you ping that again, Ken?
Oh, can do. Right there.
I'm not seeing it. I don't know if it's just me.
I didn't see it either. That's why I was waiting.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, okay. So do you guys see you know what's going on? I'm on the wrong stupid layer.
I mean, I'm assuming, there it is.
Go.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
There.
Okay. So this is the dockmaster. Picture you've walked down the dock. This is all of the boats that are here are small, like jolly boats. Nothing bigger than, say, 15 feet, rowboats. And those rowboats would row out from this little harbor out to here and then transfer to a separate rowboat on the other side of that sea barrier. Remember that this place is mostly concerned with a race of creatures called Sahaugen, which are like sort of four-armed evil mermaid type folk. Anyhow, the Cheerless is out in the harbor, but you see no activity, and this guy is sort of watching you, the four of you, stumble through the rain down the docks, and you can see he's a bit perturbed and annoyed that you've approached him. What is it you want?
We're not late for our ride, are we?
What do you want about, little one?
We were promised passage on a ship. The ship called I look over at
Defiant.
The Defiant.
No,
Defiant.
cheerless.
Is it cheerless? Oh no, we wanted
We're
the
on
Defiant.
cheerless.
We got cheerless. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just let Manon talk. She's the smart one.
I'm really not. My intelligence is -2.
The ship Cheerless. We're trying to board for safe passage.
Cheerless is not going out today. No one's leaving today. I think some of their crew is over at the rope and anchor. If you want to go talk to them. Oops.
Not leaving today. Why? Why?
Weather delay. We can't load their cargo in this.
Storm.
All the rain. Yeah. Too dangerous. They can't set sail.
Well, thank you. We will make our way over here. That way.
It's called the Rope and Anchor.
Rope and
It's
Anchor.
a tavern for sailors. They'll someone roll a persuasion.
Let's see. I have a 3. Everyone or just one person?
Let's have Hoots do it because Hoots was
Okay.
kind of the first one to speak. So
Okay, so make sure I'm on normal and persuasion.
nice.
Modified.
21. Yeah. Manon and Kitty. This guy is not a pleasant person. You were like, this guy is a bitter, cranky old dude. And you sort of watched his whole demeanor and affectation change as Hoots, in his innocent, sort of endearing way, just with no, with no, guile whatsoever. It's just being honest and asking questions. And the guy's manner sort of softens, and he says, "Listen, if you go to the Rope and Anchor, that's for sailors. They don't like outsiders in there. So maybe just ask for who you're asking for. Get in, get out, right? Don't start any trouble."
Oh, many thanks for guiding us. That we will do it just as you ask. Thank you so much.
Get out of the rain as soon as you can. But don't worry, your ship won't be leaving. Not today.
Righto. Thank you. We scampered.
And you see him kind of smile and kind of shake his head, and then he gets back and leans back in his chair, closes his eyes with his hood over his face. Kind of like as if today's been declared an unofficial holiday in town. Do you all head to the Rope and Anchor?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess, what does everyone else? I think yes. My vote's
Well,
yes.
my first reaction was going to be send Thrax and I in, and we'll figure this out. But then again, that going in guns ablazing is probably not going to be great.
Yeah. You guys
Point
going
your
to date
daggers
there?
and just be like, all right, everybody, this is it.
I just know he likes a drink or two. No, I'd push him in first and then tell him to figure it out.
Push the big man in and just close the door behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go.
But I'm down for that. Or we can check out some other places in town. There looks to be like another tavern more north. And then I don't know what the Shield is. Is the Shield a place we've already been?
This one here is if you hover your mouse
Over
over it, if there's something to
General
know,
store.
then it's sort of lit up. So this is the
Oh,
one
there
where
we
you
go.
guys were yesterday. The
On
fast
the Elder
boat.
Gnome.
Yep. The whole pack. And you have to walk by, but it looks like the shop is shuttered for today. The curtains are drawn, and there's doesn't appear to be a lantern. It looks as if people are just staying inside for the most part.
The only place we can go is the tavern for sailors then.
I do
yeah,
feel
or back
like-
to your inn.
I don't think we should all go in. I feel like 4
Yeah.
outsiders walking in is going to be a little different. I do feel like Kitty may be the best person to walk in there to get information because she's sneaky and shady and
I mean, it's shady. I would say persuasive. But I
Okay,
think
okay.
I'd be fine to go in there and see what I can find out.
But I think Hoots should not be the one that goes in.
No,
Hoots, you're
too
doing
unique.
great.
Yes.
You're doing great.
Let's not push our luck, though. Let's keep him out.
Yeah. We gotta
Okay.
protect you.
So you guys sort of make your way around and approach from the land side. There's a little bit of an awning and a patio that is protected from the rain, so you all get onto the patio and you're having this discussion about who should go in. Unlike the rest of the town, this place, there are very clearly some lanterns going. There's a nice thick column of smoke coming from the fireplace, and it is raucous and loud in there. You can hear there's a band playing and a bunch of laughter, and it doesn't take a lot to figure out that all of the sailors that would normally be working today have found their way here, and it's a bit of a palaver right now. So what are you guys gonna do?
I am gonna walk in and stroll up to the bar and grab a drink and see if anybody engages with me. Seeing that I'm an outsider, I'm sure somebody's gonna say something.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bait them.
All right. So you going to by yourself?
Yes, unless anybody else
Okay.
wants to tag along.
What do you guys want to do?
No. Okay.
Well, I can't.
Yeah.
I'll be
I think
outside doing the hood thing, trying to keep huddled up,
You want
nice and dry.
Drax is like, you want me to go with you?
You stay out here, big man. You keep an eye on the door.
All right. So the three of you sort of huddle up by the door.
Yeah, and kind of try to listen and make sure things don't go south in there. And if things go well, then we can, I think, slowly each trickle in one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. So picture like a biker bar, but it's sailors, right? So like 18th century kind of a whole variety of races, mostly human, some dwarves, some half orcs, others. There's a bunch of gnomes, halflings, and it's not as if when you walk in the record scratches and everything stops, but a few people definitely take a look at you, and they're kind of wondering about you, but you sort of work your way through the bar, and you kind of have to sidle up and get in there. The bartender studiously ignores you.
Of course. What can I use? I'm gonna yell at the barkeep. Hey, do you want my money or not?
Are you trying to be intimidating or persuasive?
Persuasive.
Okay. So do you hold up any coins or just?
Yeah, I hold up one gold piece. How much does that convert to silver again?
That'd be like 10 silver pieces.
10 silver? Yeah, I'm gonna hold up one gold piece.
One gold piece. Okay, so roll persuasion with advantage, since you're throwing around so much money. Oh, look at you go. You take it off Whisper, and then tell everybody what you rolled.
Oh, I rolled a 17, two 17s.
So that is, you sort of hold up your gold piece and in a persuasive way say, do you want my money or not? And the bartender kind of like rolls his eyes and looks over at you, and he's sort of trying to appraise you, and he walks up, kind of says, you're not here to drink. What is it that you really want?
Very perceptive. Well, since you already know why I'm here, why don't you tell me the name? What do I want?
Wait, I don't know what you want. I just know you don't want to drink.
We want a crew to take us out today.
I'm looking for your sturdiest crew that's willing to fight against this rain and get us out of this town. Who would you recommend?
Let me see here. And we look at this one. He kind of rolls his eyes again. You are a landlocked sword, aren't you? Nobody's going out today. They're not going to take a ship out unless you want to take one of those little boats. But good luck if you do that. You're no sailor, or I'll eat.
Well, maybe there's passage elsewhere. Do you happen to know of any other route down to the going east?
Where are you heading? Would you like to go back to the main map?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys
Get down to Airy. So
you guys are right
the Owlin
here,
home.
and you're trying to get to here.
Yeah. We're landlocked anyway. We have to take a ship.
Where'd you say you were trying to go?
Down to near the house of Campbell. You heard of it?
Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But yeah, you could probably take the main road to Pike's Point, but you may as well wait a day. This rain won't last forever.
Well,
Make a perception check. Has anybody else decided to come in at this stage?
not yet. Rolled a 12 for perception.
It's pretty crowded in here, and yeah, you don't recognize anyone at this stage.
How do I get back down to the main map again? I'm trying to find that button, but I don't see it.
Oh, I took everybody over to the.
Oh, to the out. Got it.
Yeah. Do you want to go back to Cobb?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're outside, and I am getting antsy because I don't trust Kitty as much. And I'm like, I need to go see what's going on in there.
Okay.
Nothing
She's
to
taking
make
a
you
minute.
mistrust me. I have been
So-
nothing but a loyal teammate.
You called me a lizard.
Just because you can't breathe fire, I just assumed all dragons breathe fire.
Because I didn't have wings.
Oh, that too. Can you breathe fire though?
Getting kind of personal in here.
Acid.
I know. I'm just.
Well, I'm just saying, if she can breathe
Let's
fire, we don't have to
just
do
walk
any. We don't have to take
away.
any like wood. She can just make it in the forest.
Yeah, I'm
It's-
definitely going in to make sure she's not doing anything shady.
All right, Drax is like, "I'm going with
That's
you."
fair.
What do you want Oots and I to do?
Wait 30 seconds and then you guys can sneak in too. But
Okay.
try to come in low. We're going to try and go in low key so we don't draw too much attention. We can see what's going on.
All right, man, make a stealth roll with disadvantage.
Oh, great. I think I'm always disadvantaged on my stealth.
I'll
You're
begin
wearing
counting.
heavy armor, is the
1,
thing. Yeah.
2, 3.
You do find candy in your.
Does it have a chewy center?
It does, actually. Yeah. Okay, when Manon walks in, the band stops playing because essentially a priest has just walked into a biker bar. So all the heads kind of turn and look at you, and then slowly the music starts to pick up and the conversation starts to pick up again. But you are like,
No.
yeah. So there's obviously a lot of respect that goes toward number one, Dragonborn, number two, cleric of the Platinum Dragon. So like people are like, maybe if they were doing some shady shit, like some gambling or stuff, has kind of stopped, or like people are hiding their card games or whatever. So what do? You see Kitty. Kitty, how would you react to Manon coming in the bar, kind of reacting that way?
I'd look over and I would throw up my hands like, really? And then I would slowly walk over to the far end of the bar and just wait.
Okay. So what do you do, Manon?
I just want to slowly kind of like walk in, watch everybody like go silent and start to kind of like play their music again and just kind of do like one of those like, you know, cool head nods.
Okay.
And then I see Kitty move off to the side of the bar and I'm like, let's just go up to the bar now.
Okay. So you're not like necessarily indicating that the two of you are together?
No.
Okay.
Not
So
yet.
you walk to the bar. The bartender is sort of looking at you with a raised eyebrow. And as you sort of sidle up, people make a little bit of room for you. And he's like, what can I get for you?
Well, I'll take an ale to start.
All right. So
That.
he starts to tap a keg and pours it for you. At that stage, Manon, a giant of a man, 6.5 feet tall, 250 pounds, sort of sidles up next to you on one side, and on the other side, a smaller guy, but sort of swashbuckling looking human with a thin mustache. And the bigger guy is quiet, the smaller guy says, "Aren't you our passengers today? Aboard the Cheerless? I recognize you."
We were supposed to be. Sounds like
Yeah.
none of us are getting out of here today.
Yep, not sailing. Good day to drink, though. But you already paid for passage, so tomorrow we'll leave, or unless this rain holds up, which I don't expect it will.
All right, I trust your word. Let's get to drinking.
He puts his hand out, and he says, "They call me Salty Sebastian." He shakes your hand. There behind you is Tower Carlton. And you look kind of over your shoulder. This guy's at least as big as Thrax. But he's kind of a little more dopey looking, you know, kind of a little less fit, but just kind of there. And he smiles at you, and the three of you share a drink as Hoots and Thrax walk in. I'm assuming, Hoots, that you would come in at this point.
Yeah, that I would be sticking close, or at least with it being as packed as it is, I'm probably rested upon Thrax's shoulder.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you got to picture this. This half orc comes in with a Owlin kind of on his shoulder, and then this is greeted warmly as the bar kind of looks, and you hear a like people pointing and laughing, and in a kind of some in a positive way, some in a like with you, and some at you, and there's nothing stopping you guys from spending however long you want in the Rope and Anchor, enjoying the hospitality of the Sailor's Bar, as you have more or less made a friendly appearance.
Is it still raining outside? Like, it's still downpouring?
It kind of is vacillating between a downpour and then it'll be like a mist and going through pretty much all of the flavors of rain. But even after, like, once in a while it'll stop and then it'll start up again. But the general sense in the town is that it seems to be like, just like I said, an unofficial holiday. No one's going to do much.
Okay. Well,
are you guys staying here for lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Around noon, you've made a few friends. You've learned that most of the crew of the Cheerless stayed on board, and they're pretty much prepped to go, but they're waiting for some stuff that was supposed to come overland that they can't leave without it. It's highly valuable cargo. You kind of figured that out. But after lunch, a young gnome, you notice, works his way into the bar and appears next to your group. And he's holding like his rain-soaked hat in his hand. He's got like a sealskin cloak that has kept him mostly dry, but he's sort of dripping next to your table as sailors come and go and interact with you. But he kind of went unnoticed for a couple of moments. And excuse me, and he's pulling on Manon's shield. Excuse me.
Okay. What is it?
My boss, Holpep, she says that she would be most pleased to host you for dinner in her shop tonight.
Ooh.
You and your group.
I give a light pat on top of Thrax's head and gesture him to look down. I was like,
What am I looking at?
a friend. Sounds like a supper.
Yes, all of you are invited, and I was told that I should just ask if you will be there so that she can prepare properly.
Absolutely. What time would you like
Good
us
idea.
there?
I believe she said as soon as you wish, perhaps an hour from now.
Can we bring anything to help out with the feast?
Oh no, our gnomish hospitality would be offended by that. So please, just yourselves, and my mistress will be most honored by your presence.
Oh, well, thank you. Your name was
My name is Rami.
Rami. No, thank you. Thank you. You can expect us prompt for dinner.
I will let her know. And he sort of wrings his hat, and then he works his way through the crowd, and you see him put his hat on and pull the cloak up over his head, and then disappear into the rain.
Keep it on.
Do we know where we're going?
He did say her shop, which you have been to before.
Okay.
You guys remember what it was called?
Yes, it's on here. It is that's the Taylor, the fast boat.
Correct. And would you guys like to do anything, or just go over there?
I want to pull out a deck of cards and play cards for an hour.
I was thinking that too. Yeah,
And then
let's
we can just fast forward past me winning and we can just go to dinner.
Oh, no drinks for me.
Do you have card playing skill? I don't think you do. I think
Deck of cards, though.
Kitty might.
I do. Yeah, I have playing card set.
Okay. Let's go ahead and look at this. Kitty, roll 3d20.
Got it.
I got 45. You got 34. This place is full of sailors who play a lot of cards.
Yeah.
And you guys end up losing 2 silver pieces.
Boo!
Kitty.
With a little bit of a frustrated thought that maybe you should get out of here before your losses get worse, you work your way over to the fast boat, and you find the young man Rami, who had invited you, standing on the porch. And he's obviously on lookout for the 4 of you, but you're moving quickly through the streets, not wanting to linger in the rain, and come thumping up onto the porch, getting out of the rain, wringing out your clothing, and he opens the door, and yes, follow me, and he's this tiny little guy, not much, maybe even shorter than Hoots, and leads you to the back of the store, and there's a staircase that leads up to a living quarters upstairs. It is warm, it is cozy, it is a completely different experience from the Green Dragon Inn. There are cushy armchairs, there's a table set with all manner of snacks, fruits and vegetables, bread, warm butter, honey, and you recognize, let me go ahead and put her on the map.
Before we
You
go up the
recognize-
stairs, can I do something?
Mhm. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Cool. I'll wait till you're done though.
Let me do this here. You recognize this woman who was your who is the shopkeeper here, and welcome, dearies. Have a seat. Make yourselves dry and comfortable. Sit by the fire if you like. And I'm sorry, you were saying you wanted to do something quickly.
Yes, before we get to her, I want to pull Thrax aside and have a talk with him.
Okay, so you're going up the staircase, let's say, and you sort of linger at the back with Thrax.
Exactly. I'm gonna
roll
Kitty.
Or roll an insight.
Okay. That is a
Yes!
Natural 1. Okay.
No, we needed this, guys. I have a plan.
Thrax, you kind of hold him back, and he's like, "What? What is it?"
Yeah, I throw my hand back on his chest while the others are going up the stairs, and I say, "Hold back." Like, I look at him straight in the eye and was like, "Did you take anything else from this store?" Don't lie to me, Thrax.
Intimidate or persuade?
Intimidated.
Okay, roll an
Today.
13.
Let's see.
Roll with disadvantage because he's in love with her.
Yeah.
He's like, you kind of poke him in the chest. Did you take anything from here? And he kind of looks at you kind of doughy-eyed, and he's like, "You're so cute when you're angry."
Yes.
But no, I didn't. Just that little cup I thought of Oots. I thought you'd like it. I won't
Yes.
take nothing else.
It was very thoughtful. Just keep your hands in your pockets this trip. If you do, maybe later down the road I'll show you how to steal something that's even more greater of value.
Promises. All right, this is a favor to you.
Like
though.
her heart.
Aww. Joey, you.
It is.
D&D girls are swooning.
Yeah. Rax is like his. So remember, he's got one snaggle tooth that, like coming up from the bottom of his jaw that like pokes a hole in his lip, and he like smiles like this huge, ridiculous smile of sharp, jagged teeth, and he starts bleeding from his lip, which he just gouged himself with. There's very few things you can think of that are less attractive. Although it's somewhat endearing. Okay, so you head up to the top of the stairs. I'm assuming are we good with that?
Done.
Okay.
Yep.
And Holpep invites you to make yourselves comfortable. At the same time, sitting in an armchair by the fire, looking very relaxed, is this gnomish gentleman smoking a pipe. He nods at all of you and introduces himself as Elri, her husband. But he shakes each person's hand, sits back down, and just smokes his pipe quietly. You all have a very delicious meal. But Kitty, during the meal, in a secretive way, you are asked by Holpep if your group would be agreeable to some work. In other words, through Thieves' Camp.
Got it. What kind of work? Depends.
Well, nothing dishonorable, although difficult, possibly.
Of course not. But we're not opposed to anything difficult. This is a very capable crew. I'm just kind of curious to see what it is you're looking for us to get for you.
She says, well, then may we speak plainly. And mind you, the Thieves' Cant is like you indicated it perfectly with a wink and a nod and like the way you turn your cup and like it's a secret code in other communications. So she's asking if she can talk to your whole group or if that would be advised.
Yeah, I think that'd be okay. They can handle it.
Very good then. So I just wanted to thank the four of you for coming and joining us. And I had heard about what you had accomplished with the kobolds and that you had served our town quite well. Thank you for that.
Most excellent. This tea is scrumptious. After dinner tea is always lovely.
I'm glad you like it. And it is extremely cozy here. Unlike at the inn, there are no leaks in the ceiling. The rain is still lashing against the roof, and you're kind of all just feeling like, oh, this is nice, you know, like being out of the elements and getting dry and warm. So, as it turns out, the reason I have asked you here is possibly to aid my husband and I, our business. These foul rains have presented a rather unique and possibly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, both for my husband and I, and for our business, and potentially for you. My chief rival in this town is a tiefling man. His name is Orin, and he is a worshiper of Umberlee. I don't know if you've heard of her.
None too familiar with this area. Rival for shopkeep? Like, is there a feud going between you two?
He is a shopkeeper, but let us say that we both deal in some things that are not precisely approved of by the crown.
Lucrative. We'd love to settle any kind of disagreements or any kind of squabbles that you might have. Pray tell, what do you ask of us?
Well, yes.
Before you go further, do you mean Umberlee, the evil sea goddess?
I do, the same. I thought one such as yourself, worshiper of Bahamut, bless him.
Nice job.
I thought you may understand where we are aligned then. And I do not expect you to take my word for any of this. You are free to ask about town if you like. But if you're interested, a few weeks ago, a small band of adventurers, not unlike yourselves, came through town here. I had encountered them. We had come to an accord, and I had hired them to investigate some ruins nearby. There are many broken down ruins along the coastline here from an ancient civilization, actually a gnomish civilization that occupied these lands before the humans came to Moonshape. But there was a famous tinkerer of our race who made fantastic items, and I believed one of them was there. I had understood that they were returning with these items, and as I said, one of those items is dear to me. But they were due to arrive in my store, but never did. Our servant boy Rami, you met him. He discovered that Oren had heard about these adventurers and knew that they were returning with a great haul of treasure, some of which I had commissioned to have as my own. These people have not been seen or heard from since. Now, I have it on good authority that all of these items and more are currently, as we speak, on a cart leaving town, but that they have, in their haste to get away from me, to steal what is mine, in their haste, they have made a possibly fatal mistake. The road is treacherous, and their cart has been beached in a mud hole. They're stuck there. Now, I know that they are heavily guarded because they know the value of what they possess, but when I saw you, young Hoots McAllister, I thought, perhaps, one who can fly might think of a way to approach a cart that is otherwise stuck in the mud and perhaps recover what was lost. Possibilities are interesting. What would you think of such a task?
Out of curiosity, how big is the item? Could Hoots carry it?
It's quite large, but if you're considering my offer, let me tell you what I can offer you as a tool. And I will, as a matter of trust, I will share this information with you, and in the hopes of creating a long-term relationship wherein in the future perhaps we help each other. Now, how do I, a small gnome in a world full of big people, compete with a tiefling who worships an evil sea goddess? I think more cleverly than he does. And I have this. And she reaches over to her husband Earl, and he hands her a scroll case, like a bone and ivory hard-bound scroll case. She pops the top off of it, slides out a roll of looks like the silkiest black silk, midnight silk, like no light can even penetrate it. And she sets it on the ground, unfolds it one time so that it's about 6 feet across, rolls it out on the floor of her hut, or of her house, and there in the right there on the floor, a hole has appeared, inky black. And she reaches in, and her husband comes over and holds her hand and drops her in, and he rolls it up, puts it back in the scroll, rolls it out, and then same thing, reverses the process. She comes out. This is called a portable hole. And as you can see, it is weightless, and it is very, very useful for transporting all sorts of items around the realm. Now, I am not offering to give it to you, but I am offering to let you use it for the next 24 hours to possibly see this done. What say you?
Sounds achievable. What does the crew think?
Can we use that hole to get to Aerie once we get this item?
It doesn't transport you. It simply stores whatever you might put in it. It's 6 feet in diameter and approximately 9 feet deep. So it can hold a great deal of cargo. But It is weightless to carry at that point. So however strong our young friend Hoots may be, perhaps you can think of a clever way to use this. I am taking a great risk if you were to become captured and I were to lose this item, it would seriously impact my ability to conduct business. However, that said, I would not wish you to be captured or injured. And these are guards from the city, some of them. So I would not like anyone to be hurt if that can be avoided.
Okay.
And
So
I
get in,
understand
get
that you are all leaving tomorrow, so that any suspicion that might be cast upon you or any of this activity would be quickly dissipated, as you won't even be in the area.
The
No.
rain and everything, it's be making it quite difficult for my flight pattern, but anything to help. I am quite intrigued by this item that you just unfurled before us.
And yeah, so it's still on the floor, so you can investigate and touch it or get inside of it or do whatever you want to do, so you can answer any questions you might have. Let's say, Hoots, you're kind of like on the edge of it, like as a magic user yourself, you're very like fascinated by this, right? So it appears to be that like it has opened a shaft into another dimension, like astral space. But the walls of it are perfectly flat and smooth. There's nothing in it. But yeah, you could fit 10 Draxes in there. Kitty, she looks at you, Holpep looks at you and kind of rubs her chin, and she says, "Now, if I'm not mistaken, you are one that is very well versed with nature."
Extremely versed in nature.
She holds out her hand. Like, as soon as you said it, she holds out her hand to her husband. Without a word, he like walks another scroll case into her hand. She kind of rolls it between her hands. And now, my young Dragonborn friend, if I'm not much mistaken, Dragonborn are not gifted with the dark side.
No.
But your friend may be able to use this then. And she hands you the scroll case, Kitty.
I look at the scroll case, turning it over, and then decide to open it. Yeah, pop it open.
And a magical scroll unfurls as you take it out and unroll it. It's a magic spell. And the magic spell is a second level druid spell, second level ranger spell called Dark Vision. She asks you, are you up to casting such a spell? And you know that you are not quite that level yet. So it wouldn't be automatic, but
I was a second ranger already.
You're second level, but remember, you don't get second level ranger spells until you get to third level. It's one of the dumbest things
That's
about
right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Right? So you can't quite cast second level spells automatically.
Yep.
But you can attempt it. So here, not to put all the cards on the table, but
Yeah,
Kitty
what's
has to
my
decide
success
to be. It would be a DC 12 spell casting. So Kitty has to decide: are you going to be honest, or are you going to be a bullshitter? Are you up to casting such a spell as this?
Oh yeah, no, I've done this like 10 different times. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely able to read said scroll.
Okay, in that case, I would suggest that perhaps tonight, sometime after midnight, Rami can lead you to the general area, and then, depending on what you find, take these items. If you are successful, come back to me. If you feel that it cannot be done, truly cannot be done, without bloodshed and mayhem, then as much as it pains me to let this thing go, then I will have to live with that.
We will do our best.
Anything to help. I love this item. As my talons kind of furl into the void, and I'm almost tempted to go flutter down in. Like
A new toy.
Yeah, like I'm pitter pattering on the ground, like I'm indecisive, like I want to hop in and I don't, and I just do the owl thing if I have my wings open, and I just want
love it. And yeah, sure enough, it is. You could pick up the edge as if it's like a thick sheet of silk, and as soon as you lay it down, the magic takes over and it's a hole. As soon as you pick it up, it is just a piece of silk. So it is a very, very powerful magic item.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys like to do? You're more than welcome to stay and enjoy the hospitality of Holpep and her husband.
Well, you said that there's city guards that are also with this
So
item.
to put it plainly, what has happened is Oren, I believe, pushed his people to leave on a day like this, and whether they wanted to or not, they're stuck and not far out of town, perhaps a mile and a half. Now, it would be a waste of time to try to carry these heavy items back to town when they know that in a day or two the road will dry out. But based on the value of what they have there, they have moved their guards around the cart and are obviously attempting to prevent any theft. And they have been kobolds seen in the area, so I think they're on extra alert. So, as I said,
I think you're thinking the same thing.
Before I saw Hoots, I thought it's impossible. There's nothing we can do. But once I saw you, my young friend, I thought there were possibilities. But I would not presume to tell you how to do your business.
I sent a scroll with Hoots to the guard saying that kobolds are attacking or seen in an area other than the item, and get people away from the cart so that it's easier for Hoots to get in there, get the item, and leave before they know what happened.
Exactly. Even if there's a few less than them, like distract them somehow, right? Like get them to leave,
They're
and if
not-
we have to make another distraction,
They're not
then-
going to want to leave their town or anybody like open.
Yep. Wish we had a cobalt we could like tape to a post
Tape a kobold.
and put a sign on it and goes, "Oh, scary!"
If only I
Perhaps
had
you would-
wings, I could act like a kobold.
Right?
Perhaps you might wish to go look for yourselves. Go scout the area, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. Especially me, I want to
prepared.
get up in the trees and look around.
Pen and paper I can take with us in case I want to write a letter or a message.
Yes.
Certainly. And she snaps her fingers, holds out her hand, and again, her husband Earl, whack, a scroll, hard case scroll. You will find an inkwell and parchment inside.
Before we leave,
A quill.
we seem to be in the presence of somebody who knows trinkets very well and has seen a thing or two. I'd like to pull out my two-sided cubes, or six-sided cubes, and ask if she has happened to see, like if she's seen these before and if she knows what they do.
Okay, hang on a second. Roll an insight.
Insight?
Yep. Did I just roll a natural one? I just rolled a natural one.
Ha! Sorry, not 18.
Okay. So these are bone dice that you have that Felix Khalif gave to you.
Mhm.
And so that means they're like Yahtzee dice, right? So there's, literally like a dot for 1, 2 dots for 2, 3 dots for 3, and so forth. You're familiar with what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So as you pull them out and kind of put them on the table for her to see, her eyes get huge. And she looks at you, and she looks at the dice, and then she quickly recovers, right? But for a moment, she was sort of really impressed. And she's like, I did not realize I was speaking with a member of the Nine Lives League. Or have you not attuned to them yet?
I'll be honest, I'm still attuning to them. I was just inducted into this elite group.
Elite it is. Well, this doesn't exactly change things, but it makes me feel better about trusting you. But yes, the Nine Lives League. I had only heard rumor of it and had never met one of you before, so I consider you to be a good choice for such a mission as this. And again, I reiterate, I would prefer to have a long, fruitful relationship with you. As adventurers, I can quite easily guess that you will be traveling all about the land, and who knows what treasures you may uncover. I would like to have first rights to purchase such things, potentially, in the future.
We can make that happen. Absolutely.
I like this.
But
lady.
yes, she pushes the dice back toward you, and she's like, attune to them as soon as possible, dearie.
I'll start attuning to them. Can I start now?
So you need an hour of uninterrupted time.
Okay.
By the way, I finally saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and so
What'd you think?
it was great. It was really cute. Especially loved Bradley Cooper. And,
Yep.
I was
It was so unexpected.
I thought I was gonna die. I was laughing so hard. But you remember the sorcerer was trying to attune to the helmet, right? So
Yes.
in the movie
For a
they
while.
kind of turned that into a
Stopped.
thing that it doesn't actually do in the game mechanics.
Mhm.
Essentially, in the game mechanics, you spend an hour and you'll be successful if it is a thing that you can attune to. So, for example, if there was like a Bloodwell vial, which is only for sorcerers, and you tried to attune to it, wouldn't work,
Wouldn't work.
right?
Yeah.
But Hoots could. So Hoots would not be able to attune to the dice, but you can. So what happens is that Holpep sort of goes and sits in her cushy armchair by the fire and puts on a little pair of reading glasses and begins to work her way through some like bills of lading, and she's sort of working on her little thing. Her husband's still there smoking the pipe, but she tells you you're all more than welcome to plan and rest. She says, I would guess that this work is best done in the dark. But again, not for me to tell you how to do your business.
I mean, not to be selfish, but I'd like to stay until dark, and then I can attune to my dice.
Oh no,
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
And go ahead, please.
Sorry. During this time, I tug onto Manon. Oh, can I have a conversation with you, Manon? Oh, over here.
Of course, little one.
At this point, Thrax is just like pulling on his bristly hair. Where do we gotta go?
Drax, go pick some flowers.
Shut up, Manon.
That was good.
Nice one.
So Manon, you mentioned that this sea witch, her name was Ursa something. I'd like to know more about this Ursa something. She's an evil deity, evil witch that the rival shop owner, patron of some sort. I'd like to know more.
So she's the evil sea goddess, and she's worshipped by a lot of sailors or people who travel out by the sea. She's known as the Queen of the Depths, and she's known to be particularly malicious, petty, greedy, and vain. And she revels in drowning people from the land. So I don't think she's anybody we really want to mess with.
Roll a religion check there, Manon.
Yeah.
Nice job, man.
Well said, too, by the way. So,
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
yeah,
guess
take
that's
off.
fine,
Yeah, take off your advantage, but
Yep.
yeah. So there's an automatic. So you live in a polytheist society, meaning there's all kinds of gods, right? So as a worshiper of the Platinum Dragon, obviously you think he's the most powerful and the best. But like in your view, Umberly sure is powerful. But when Hoot said Ursa something, you remember that Umberly has many names, and some people call her Ursula. So yeah. Okay, so Umberly, Ursula, and the name that you remember, Hoots, Ursaula. Yeah, it's sort of maybe what the Owlin sometimes call her. So.
Oh, whoa.
Another very odd question. Have you ever heard of her? She's spoken to you. Do you know what she might sound like? Evil, vile? You say menacing.
I have never heard her speak personally, and I've never spoken to anyone who's heard from her personally.
Well, in my village, it was just a fairy tale, and my my uncle Archimedes did his best impression. It was so funny, but it's good to know that there's commonality between these folklores that I'm sure that she is awfully real, but not the person that we should be encompassing. But thank you. I just wanted to pry your head for knowledge. I am awfully curious about this deity. That concludes the conversation I'm having with Manon.
You both are distracted as Thrax was leaning on the table with his hand, and then he falls forward. Boom! Bang! Ow! Is he? Holpep says, "Is he quite all right?"
Hey,
I don't
Thrax,
know.
how many push-ups do you think you can do without stopping?
Oh, that's good.
At least 100. And I'm not even going to make
You
him
do
roll for
100.
that. He starts banging out push-ups.
So good.
But eventually he wears himself out and starts sleeping.
Perfect.
Perfect, Manon. That was
If you
clutch.
didn't already have inspiration, I would give that to you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so it is 7:30. You guys want to take a 5-minute break, and then
Yes.
we'll pick back up.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I was like, that's a very specific time of night for it to be.
Mhm.
But it's this
Yeah.
time of night.
That's yeah, our time.
Yeah, our
Okay.
time.
See you guys in 5. Should we continue?
Yep.
Okay. So, is there anything you guys want to do, or obviously you haven't seen the situation yet, so you can't, you'll obviously have to look at that. But is there anything you want to do before you leave town? Because realistically, once you leave town, your opportunities to pick up something, some specific items, for example, rope or whatever, are pretty much over at that stage.
Oh yeah, do we
right?
need to buy anything from her shop?
Well, I think at this stage it's implied that she will.
I was gonna say, I
front
think she'll
you.
give us whatever we need.
Nice.
Yeah. So if there's anything you guys are thinking of, and I'll just sort of say that Holpep is looking at you, Manon, and she says, that heavy armor doesn't seem conducive to a nighttime sneak.
Now that you mention it, I don't think it is. What do you suggest?
I could lend you a suit of perhaps studded leather armor, which is not as protective, but certainly would be a little better for a nighttime quiet job such as this.
Well, the goal tonight is not to get into a fight, it sounds like.
Agreed, very much.
So
Is
if you
that
don't mind,
something
I
you
would
would,
love
you
to
would
borrow
do?
that.
All right.
Yes.
So let me, what I'm going to do there, Katie, is I'm just going to drag studded leather armor onto your character sheet. So see where it says you have scale mail.
Oh yeah, I
So
see it at the bottom.
Uncheck scale mail. And
Oh, wait,
the studded
where?
leather armor is already checked. So you see the little blue check marks next to them?
Oh yeah.
There you go. So your armor class is now 15 instead of 17, but you no longer
Okay.
have disadvantage on stealth rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. But I
Why don't you
can't
just
see anything, so
Why don't you just hit a practice stealth roll just to be sure?
perfect. Okay.
So I didn't say you were proficient in it, but
That's okay. That's okay.
okay. All right. So what do you guys want to do besides that?
I want to attune to my dice, and then were we going to try to do the spell so I can give her dark vision for tonight?
Yeah. So let me do this real quick, Kitty. I am going to open your character sheet, and I'm going to put the dark vision spell on your character sheet so you can put it in chat. So go to spells, go to second level spells, and it should be there.
Oh, I see it.
So go ahead and
Put it in the chat.
Just put it in the chat. So the good news is it lasts 8 hours.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Okay. So you firstly though, you attune to your dice,
Mhm.
and let me give you the info on that. Okay, there's more information than this, which will become apparent to you as you make levels. If this item is attuned by a Tabaxi rogue, they gain the following benefits. The next 9 times, you would be dropped to 0 hit points. You instead go to 1 hit point. You essentially have 9 lives.
Hell yeah.
So as you attune to these dice, you have a vision. So you're just sort of like, imagine you guys are just waiting for it to become dark. So you're kind of killing time. You had to get away from Thrax, who is, like he's on number 200, but he's at that like complete fail stage where he's just shaking and then plop, 201, and then you're like, ugh. So you went downstairs to get some peace and quiet, and you had like an image as you roll through the dice and just kind of hold them in your hands and you roll them again and again. And there's more to this than just the 9 lives, but you feel as you progress as a rogue, they will unlock more mysteries for you. But you do envision Felix Khalif's face, and you envision a powerful warrior cat also. And you kind of just have these little images of other Tabaxis who might be in the 9 Lives League. So, yeah. Anyhow, that is now a thing. So on your character sheet, let's go ahead and...
Do I change hit dice from 3 to 12?
No, so that's all the same. But under here, we're going to put 9. This is a one-time thing, so these are not rechargeable.
Got it.
So you have...
I see where you did.
I'm going to delete that one, and just as you use them, they are gone. Okay? So that's what you discover.
Cool.
Okay, now what?
I think I'm going to try to give Manon dark vision. So I call Manon over downstairs, and I tell her that I need her to sit very, very still because I'm going to attempt to do something that will enlighten her.
Great. Set it up so that if you fail, you can blame her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So what you have to do is you're going to roll. What is your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom modifier is 3.
Your proficiency is 2, so you have a 5. You need to beat a 12, which means you need to roll a 7 or better on a d20.
I think I can do it.
Don't forget you have inspiration and luck. So.
Yep. Yep.
Can I bless her too while we're at it?
Wow, I guess
would that help?
I guess it would be technically. Do you have guidance? As a cantrip? No, you, man. It would be.
No, I don't think so. No.
This is not an attack roll, so it's more of a skill check. So guidance would be more appropriate. But let's just roll it straight up.
Okay, so a d20.
D20.
I'm using luck. I can't believe that. There's no way.
That was a natural 1 for the audio.
Oh my, a natural 1.
Which makes sense when you're not proficient. You
Yeah.
you booger it up the first try. Like
You're like okay, so nobody knows this. She's never used a scroll before. Like, so it was completely fucking upside down. And you start to read it, and
I just
you're like,
slowly start to turn it as Manon just looks at me weird.
roll a perception check, man.
I'm so
That
glad
is
we're recording this because
fantastic.
that was like the ugliest laugh I think I've ever said out loud. Oh, not that great.
Okay,
A 10.
so you're like sitting there with your eyes closed, and so you don't see her like turn the scroll right side up. But luck was with you as you started to read it. You actually screwed it up so badly that the scroll didn't destroy itself. Which once you cast the spell, it burns itself up. The scroll is destroyed in the casting. So
I thought she was gonna have this forever.
nope.
I did too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you've realized this now as you're like, oh, this is.
Ooh.
Oh, I see how this works now.
Okay.
You're like, okay.
We really got to get it right this time. Okay. Another D20. There we go.
16. So that's a 21 altogether. Manon, you feel sort of a warmth behind your eyes, and as Manon opens her eyes, you can see her there's a slight reflection to the back of her pupil that wasn't there before. Like my dog, when you look at him in the darkness, since he's stone blind, you can see that his pupils are always super blown, so you can see the reflection off of his eyes. But Manon, you can't see anything differently because you're in a lit room, so it doesn't actually have any effect until you're in light or darkness. So, but that is 8 hours, and we will say for the sake of game mechanics that you cast the spell at approximately 4 p.m. So because it's November, the sun will be setting within an hour or two at this stage. However, it is still overcast, and the rain has lightened up, if not stopped. But it's still overcast, so you can pretty much leave to go investigate anytime you want.
Let's go now. Unless anyone else has something to do.
I would like to procure a cartographer's tool. Like, to see if I can get like any kind of artisan tools, like a tool kit.
Okay. Really quickly, let's check
Ooh, I
that.
just remember I'm going to ask for something after Hoots is done getting that.
If you want to type it into the chat so we don't forget it.
Yep.
Just in
good
case
call.
we get super distracted. Cartographer's tool? What? Is that in the player's handbook? Or?
I think so. Like, let's see. Let me bring that up. Cartographer.
Tools. It's in tools. Yeah, there it is. So that'd be normally 15 gold pieces. Will be yours on loan, but yours to keep if you're successful.
Okay.
All right.
Beautiful.
And I just had a total brainwave about like an Owlin that can make maps. That's genius. Okay. Oh yeah.
Let me go ahead and put that in inventory.
Okay, yeah. Put a cartographer's kit, and in the Roll20, it goes in the first column.
Tools. Gotcha.
Yeah, under tools. Yeah. So the column 1, there's a whole column for tools. Yeah. So you do have thieves' tools already, Kitty. They're in the tool area there. So whenever you want to use them, you would just click on that, and that would.
I see it now.
I believe you have expertise in that too.
I do. Yeah.
Thrax,
I saw the crowbar, so I wasn't sure.
Okay. If there's anything else you can think of that you want to add into that, that's great. But Thrax has his axe, and he's happy with that.
Okay.
He's got a giant 2-handed axe.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. What next?
Can we get some bird feed for Hoots? He doesn't have to
Bird
keep eating.
feed for Hoots. Good lord. Nothing that I can see though.
Don't be.
No, aside from that, do we have rope?
I have one.
I don't have any rope.
Okay.
Now's the time. If you want rope, she
Yeah.
will give it to you. So if you want to put 50 feet of rope on your inventory, go right ahead. But you have to write it down, or else you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just all
EMS
take 50 feet of rope.
So
Okay.
is one hempen rope 50 feet already, and then we're
Mhm.
each getting an extra one, or well, getting one.
Sure.
Mhm.
And
Got
you
it.
have
So I'm
a
at 100.
portable hole. Who is carrying the portable hole?
Hoots.
Hoots. All right. So you've got a scroll case with a portable hole rolled up in it, so it's nice and secure. As you sort of secure it to your chest, Holpep walks over to you, and you guys are essentially eye to eye, right? Like the same height. And Holpep puts her hands on your shoulders and says, "Young man, you hold the fate of my business in your hands. Please be careful, both for your own safety and for mine."
Never fear. We will do an excellent job.
I believe you. Rami! And she snaps her fingers, and the husband, Errol, kind of, the eyebrow goes up, and he's sort of like, "Oh, she's not talking to me." And he puts his pipe weed back and starts smoking. But you hear the thumping of the young gnome boom, 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 come up the stairs. Yes. Take these 4 people to the woods by the quiet paths to where you told me the cart was, and help them in any way you can. It will be done. It will be done, miss. And he sort of motions the 4 of you to follow him down the stairs. At the last little bit here, as you guys kind of gather at the front of the shop, there's a coat stand, and on the coat stand, Rami puts on his sealskin cloak with the hood, and each of you, he gives each of you a sealskin cloak, which will help keep the water off of you. So it's sort of waterproof, as long as you wrap it tightly across your shoulders and put the hood up. And you are exiting the shop. The little bell tinkles, and he closes the door and locks it with a key around on a string around his neck. He puts that away, and he says, "Follow me." And Nova, and the 4 of you step into the muddy street, sneak across the street in the darkness. There are a few lights in the city, in the little village, just coming on, like lanterns being lit and little lights in windows. But it is cold. In fact, although it stopped raining, there are a few snowflakes oddly happening now and again as you sneak your way into the forest, away from the main road. So I would just kind of call your attention to essentially this section of the map. Yeah, so kind of here-ish, right? So you're cutting straight across down into the woods, away from any prying eyes. Actually, once you get into the forest, there's pine needles and years and years of fallen leaves. And actually, because of the rain, the leaves have collected a ton of moisture, and you're more or less walking through like this duff, and it muffles the sound of your passage. So you can move fairly quickly. Kitty, the gnome, for not being a ranger, definitely knows these woods well. He takes you through a game trail, and you cover about 2 miles fairly quickly, right as the sun goes down. And at that stage, I'll move you on to the new map. Okay. And we are all here. Man, let me adjust your vision, okay?
I was gonna say I can't see anything.
There we go. You should be good now. Okay.
You can
So-
see.
With Rami at the lead, he sort of says, I dare not go any further. But off ahead, to the west, you can see their torches. And sure enough, in the darkness, Manon, you are absolutely furious as you're walking through the woods, realizing that everyone else has been able to see like this the whole time. And you're even though there are no light sources nearby, you can make out the details of the woods. Although everything is without color. In your night vision, everything is gray, like shades of gray. And I will point out, even though I said we would wait till next week, if do you have your player's handbook, Katie?
Me?
Yeah.
I sure do.
Awesome. Just kind of go to one kind of rule on page 183. So if you have that to Tiffany, it does say that dim light also cause, if you look at page 183, dim light, also called shadows, creates a lightly obscured area. An area of dim light is usually a boundary between the source of light, bright light, and darkness. The soft light is twilight, or is a dim light. And then darkness creates a heavily obscured area. If you look at that above where it says lightly obscured and heavily obscured, lightly obscured, such as dim light and patchy fog, creatures have disadvantage on perception checks that rely on sight. So if you have dark vision and you're in darkness, you're technically in dim light, which means you have disadvantage on perception checks that rely on sight. So we're gonna enforce that rule, but keep in mind that if you don't have dark vision, then you would just not even get to make a perception check based on sight.
Okay.
So,
good point. Okay.
Okay. So that's the benefit. So the four of you with little Rami, you have no source of light with you. You're relying completely on your dark vision. Picture ahead of yourselves. Maybe you come to an edge of a little copse of trees. Off in the distance, with a few snowflakes coming down, it's super quiet. But then you hear like the laughter of soldiers and men, and torchlight, and perhaps a campfire up ahead. Yeah, you can smell the wood smoke kind of drifting through the forest. And at this stage, Rami says, I dare not go any further. And he sort of huddles himself down by a tree and is like watching you with big eyes, clearly afraid.
It's okay, Rami, I whisper over to him. I assure him that you can wait for us a little bit ways. You do keep yourself dry, but stay out of this the best you can.
Thank you. And he kind of wanders back, we'll say just for the purposes of just off the map, into a little like a little undergrowth and kind of a tree that's fallen under, and he's just huddled up under there, kind of trying to stay warm, wrapped up in his cloak. You can clearly get the sense of fear from him. He is a young guy after all. So.
Oh.
All right. So Thrax is cracking his knuckles.
Thrax, no violence.
What? Oh, okay. Sorry.
We got to think.
Not yet, at least.
I just gets nervous sometimes.
Perfectly fine. It's perfectly
Anyway.
fine.
What are we doing?
Mano, who's gonna deliver the note?
Is that the plan we want to go with?
Why don't we look around?
Gotta
first?
get some of them
Yeah,
away.
like,
the
let's,
rest. Let's.
Well, we need to see who's there. We need
Oh.
to see who's there
Oh,
and what it looks like first.
I can be stealthy and I can go around to the side to see what I can find out in the tree.
So right now, from this distance, you can clearly see the light sources, like torches flickering, but you can't see any people. You just hear their voices. So you can definitely, as you get closer, will reveal who's there and who's not, possibly. But just so you know, like, you don't see them on the map because you haven't gone close enough yet.
Gone close enough yet. I'm actually thinking about sneaking over to this little rock right here and see if I can't peek around it to see what I find.
Okay.
And the rest of the crew can stay back.
All right. So is that what you all want to do, or?
I'm okay with that.
I do a quick nod over to Kitty, and I kind of I do this weird owl thing where I'm squatting down, like ready to take like a silent flight and just kind of waiting on her word, because I am like prepared to like fly up if need be and just wait for that like cue signal from her.
Okay, cool. Kitty, as you start to leave, you start to sneak forward. Thrax like reaches out and he puts his hand on your shoulder. Be careful. And then he sits back.
Kind
Okay.
of look at him with my eyes squinting, be like, I'm always careful. And
As
just missing the
Kitty
cues.
as Kitty sort of disappears through the brush, Thrax looks over at you, Hoots. And he's just, she's fucking cool.
I know,
And
right?
I roll my eyes like the biggest eye roll possible for a
You roll
dragonborn
your eyes
right now.
so hard it makes a sound.
I was gonna say, yeah, can I I'm fine if my armor clanks on this eye roll.
I go over at Thrax
That was
and I'm like,
good.
I know, right? She's absolutely terrifying.
All right, Kitty. Describe for us, please, how you proceed, and can you please use your drawing tool to draw the path that you take?
Yes, I
And,
am going to.
When do you pause? What are you doing? That kind of thing.
Let's do freehand. Okay.
Yep.
So, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stealth dash from here to about here. I'm going to wait. Don't
Okay,
move,
so
cat.
remember your dash is
It's only during.
it's when you want to like double your movement. So when the rules of stealth are you're moving at half speed, you can
Got
do
it.
stealth at full speed, but you'd be at disadvantage. So as long as you're just kind of moving at your stealth speed, going slow, you can
I'll do
make
that.
stealth rolls at regular. So let's just have one stealth roll to get you to here, and then I'll have
Got
you
it.
do a perception check with disadvantage.
Perfect. All right, stealth check. Come on. 20.
Nice. Okay. So you can go ahead and move yourself to that spot on the map.
Okay.
The three of you adventurers, you see Kitty sort of disappear into the underbrush between the trees, and then she's gone. You can actually, all of you, roll a perception check to try to see if you can track where she is at this stage. Nope. Oh.
That's 20.
Hoots, let's go ahead and turn your D6 heroic die into a D8. Good for you. Hoots, unbeknownst to you, your dark vision is just superior to everybody else's, so you can actually see Kitty the whole time as she's meandering through, but you don't know that no one else can see her. But you still got a good view of her as she moves forward. Kitty, did you make your perception check?
I did not. I need to do that now.
So
Right,
with disadvantage,
perception.
remember.
Oh, with disadvantage. Let me redo. Sorry.
Good, good.
What is that? Give it 13 or 15 to the right. So we're going with 13.
Okay, so the lower one would be the one we go with at disadvantage. So you see. Uh-oh. There we go. Token layer. You see a couple of guys right there, and
Okay.
then in the darkness, there's a torch right on the edge of the cart. Can you see the cart from where you are?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so right about there's a torch like stuck into the ground. You get a good view of the cart itself. It is indeed almost to its axles in mud, and it's just a giant mud hole all the way around it. To be clear, this sort of clearing area is the road. It doesn't exactly look like it on the map, but that's the road that they were pulling the cart through, and clearly it got bogged down right there. But these guys are this guy here is very clearly visible in the torchlight. These two guys are sitting on that rock, kind of talking between themselves. But bad news, this guy is walking a dog and basically circling the whole place. So that's your first look, basically.
Got it. I'm gonna
Wait,
go
did
back.
you say walking a dog?
I did.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to go back just yet because I need to go a little bit further to see if I can find any other beings that are in that area. So I'm going to still use stealth at normal speed. And what would that put me? Right here at the edge of this tree?
Yeah, so where are you trying to end up? Let's just put it that way.
I'm trying to get to the edge of, oh, let me press the right button. I'd like to get like here, because I feel like that's going to give me my best vantage point. Potentially here. That's what I'd like to do, because I think that's going to give me my best angle, and then I can backtrack on the outskirts to get back to the crew.
So let's roll a stealth to get to here to start with. And again, you're in heavy cover there, moving your way through the heavy undergrowth and trees.
With normal, right?
Yeah, so speed's not really an issue because we're not in combat. So a 24 will easily get you to there, and across the, you can go ahead and move yourself there if you want.
Yep.
Like right about there. So you're still under cover of the trees. But what you see is, and these guys are, now they're in the torchlight, so it's not exactly difficult to see them.
Oh, by the horses.
Yeah, so there's a couple of horses that it looks like they're, like there's a guy tending to them, kind of getting blankets on them and rubbing them down. They were obviously in the mud themselves. They're caked, from like the chest down, and that's not good for them, so there seems to be taking care of them. But there is a large group up by the fire pit, talking and laughing, half a dozen guys, at least. Go ahead and roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Got it.
So yeah, you'd think there may be another couple of folks off to this in the woods here, off to the north, like another roving patrol. You maybe hear something there, but you can't be 100% sure. So yeah, whatever is in that cart is worth guarding heavily. Is sort of the conclusion you've come to.
Absolutely, I didn't expect anything less. Okay, I want to make my way back to the crew. Is that 2 stealth checks?
I'm gonna give it to you because of just because of the wet ground, and you're not moving toward them, you're moving away from them. So it takes a few minutes. I'm gonna say in total you were gone for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's have you sneak back up on your group and have everybody roll an awareness to see if they can see you. Perception, everyone. 13 for Manon and Thrax. Hoots, obviously at some point you lost sight of Kitty. Kitty, let's have a stealth on your way back in.
Yep. Normal.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Kitty pops up about 8 feet away from you, Manon. Just a little too far for you to reach out and smack her. And she's like, "Come back!" And you all kind of jump out of your skin. But you're all kind of cold and just trying to keep yourselves warm as just occasionally a little flurry of snowflakes falls. But the ground is starting to get that frost layer on it, and it might make it easier to get the wagon out tomorrow. But what would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to know what Kitty saw.
Yeah, I'm going to huddle the group together and let them know that there's more of them that we could possibly handle if we just try to go at it, like battle to battle. There's at least 2.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Did they look like? Did they look like guards from the city, or did they look like people who aren't going to listen to rank?
They are absolutely all bandits. Some of them we might have seen in town, but they are all bandits. I don't see any of the guards here. They have 1 captain and 3 dogs with what looks like 2 horses.
Okay. So if you've got dogs, I bet if a cat were to be in the area, they could get the dogs to start running, which is going to make everybody else be like, "Wait, what are the dogs doing?" And they're all going to be focused on the dogs running after something. Hoots can sneak in, get what he needs to go, and we can go. Hoots, what do you think?
I have just the perfect illusion for that. I can mimic a feline, an illusionary feline, and have it talk.
I love that idea.
Nope, I like Kitty better. I think it needs to be real.
Manon, That is not sportsmanlike.
Ah,
Is that how you pronounce it? Anyway, the plan is let's not use Kitty in this. Let's go ahead and use this illusion. Create the sounds of something for it. Well, we gotta think. We're
Pat
here
Hoots on the head.
if
so maybe Kitty can do a loop before, and then you can send the illusion on the loop Kitty went, so that there's a scent of a cat. But we
Not a
still
fan.
keep Kitty.
Not a fan of that idea.
You're not before the illusion. Pre-illusion, you're home safe with us, and then the illusion can go.
I just
Hang on a
went
second.
out there and
I
put my
want to see a
smell all
bad word
across
that's
it.
you call a cat.
bad news of this,
Stop being
guys,
a-
is that my illusion can only go 30 feet.
Okay,
I got
30
to be
feet.
close to it. So in order for it to not dissipate, I need to make sure that it doesn't go outstretch the 30 feet.
So we need to get you pinned on top of the cart before you do it,
I had
unnoticed.
a curious idea as I'm looking over to Thrax. If I give you this portal of black velvet, I hop in. Can you torpedo it onto the like I asked this like theorized question off the track.
Ken's
Like,
face is like, ooh, I don't know.
like how good is your
Wait a
throwing
minute.
arm? Wouldn't make it.
Why can't I go in and you fly?
Man and Anthrax and Kitty fit in there?
Yes.
Because you said it could fit 6 Thraxes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We did.
Yeah, it can.
Thrax, good job.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You did good. You did good.
When?
At some point in life, you did good.
Oh, thanks.
So
He looks kind of happy with himself.
Yeah.
What we doing?
I feel like that is the best appropriate plan. Everyone comes into the hole. I cinch up and then create that illusion and draw the attention away. I will then land on to the cart inconspicuously and take it cinched up and then fly as quickly as I can out of the scenario.
Okay.
I'm down.
I like it.
I like the idea.
And we're 100% confident we don't want to just use the real Kitty, right?
100%. Yes.
Oh, okay. Just make sure.
120%.
Because yes, the shopkeeper was very gracious. I do love the meal that she provided, and the tea was excellent. I want to make sure that nothing goes awry here. And you guys know me. I escaped the kobolds and nearly had myself eaten by the kitty, but she is friend.
Yes, friend. And I pat Hoots on the head and I said, I knew there was a reason why I didn't want to eat you.
But does everybody have confidence in me that I
Absolutely.
can guide us over here? Okay,
Absolutely.
then I
Oops.
believe this is the plan.
You and I got drunk together last night. That means something where I'm from.
Oh,
I trust you.
Oh,
well, thank you all. Thank you all. Now, I go to lay out the 6 feet thing very, very nicely. I drape it over. You see the feathers and the fleece, and it goes down.
So
Everybody?
roll a dexterity, like either an acrobatics or just a straight dexterity roll.
Okay.
It's not really a saving throw. It's just a dexterity roll. So
Make sure I click on myself. There we are.
Real quick, is Thrax the only one staying out of the hole? Or are we all getting in except for Hoots?
holy smokes.
Nice job. Nat
my
20.
understanding was that a natural 20 there for Hoots. Hoots, you were moving you to a D10 heroic dice.
oh, damn.
And Hoots, you kind of start to realize the one limitation of the portable hole is that it really has to be on a flat surface. So at first, when you unroll it, you didn't automatically figure out, like, it didn't work at first. And then you sorry about that. And then you then you realize, oh, it's going to be flat. So you actually have to take the time to kind of clear some of the leaves and pine needles out and really flatten out the ground, and then you unroll it. So you're thinking the cart itself will be a flatter surface than the ground, but you do get it to essentially work. But you do understand that that's a limitation of the device.
Got you.
Okay.
I would like, so we are taking Thraxionil or Kitty, but I would like to have a like scroll written out maybe or something. So if like when we get to the cart and we get unrolled, and if they like show up and they're like, wait, what are you doing? I can pop out and be like, what? You guys didn't see me coming? The kobolds are here. Like, we need like a backup plan to like throw them off of why we're there.
Yeah. I would agree.
Okay, so
didn't you say that these were bandits?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they're not guards. But I like the
if we say
concept.
kobolds, it's at least something different, and I could say, where are the city guards? I was told there were city guards here that need to get back. Blah, blah, blah. Distraction, distraction, distraction.
Potentially, if it works on them, yeah.
Do you not want to go, Manon?
No, I want to go. I'm saying, but I can pop out of the hole if they come back while we're there getting the item. So that we don't look red-handed and we don't look weird while we're there.
First you lie, then you run. Yep.
Yes, so let's
Checks
try
out.
to lie and then run. Exactly, Thrax. Thank you.
I got you, Manon. And he fist bumps you.
So lay out the plan for me again, because I want to make sure I'm following. What are we doing step by step?
Plan was to unfurl this. Go on.
For Hoots to send the illusion of the cat, get the dogs riled up and chasing the cat, which is going to get all the bandits riled up to follow the cat. Or follow the dogs, hopefully.
At least the majority of them.
Enough of a distraction to get us in there. Everything goes smooth. Hoots lands, lays out the hole. We get out. Well, we can stay in the hole. She throws the item in, rolls it up. We leave. But if we get to the cart, she unrolls it. The hole is there. The bandits come back. I can pop out, pretend like there's kobolds, and I walked up to warn them of the kobolds, hopefully cause more of a distraction, and hopefully then get away. And if that fails, we all just run.
Yeah, because like in that case, Hoots would just roll us back up, and then we would
fly
take
away.
off and fly away. And that's got to be the key. Like, we're not going to be able to fight and defend these guys, so it's just a matter of distracting some, getting to the cart stealthily, and then pulling out. Here's the thing, though. Like, Hoots also has to get to the cart with stealth as well.
Oh no!
Even if we do the distraction, we don't know if all of them will, because there's a whole group of them around the campfire. So we're going to need to make sure that he can get there without any like interruption. Jeez Louise, stop it.
Okay, so Thrax has fallen in the hole.
Okay, good. Thrax is in the hole.
Okay.
He fell, you heard him go, oof! And he takes 3 hit points, but he does not yell out.
Okay.
We need the illusion to run past the campfire. Get the dogs riled up, run past the campfire, drag the dogs past the campfire.
Yeah, like, can the illusion move, or is it just
Can you put whatever spell you're casting in the chat so we make sure we're not over?
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. A sound or an image of an object within range. Okay. If you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar, so it can definitely be a cat. Beating drums, any sound you choose. Unabated throughout the duration, you can make discrete sounds at different times before they create an image. Okay. So, yeah, within the 30 feet, you can
do the sound or the image.
And you're going to want to put it near where the horses are so that they freak out if the horses make a ruckus too. So, and that will hopefully draw some of the ones away from the campfire and more east. So I would place it there, and then you can get in. My only nervous part about this is if something goes wrong and Hoots is by himself, it's only Hoots to take care of himself. So
okay, so what if we do this? What if Kitty, you don't get in the hole?
Okay.
You go somewhere in like I'm gonna Well, yeah, no, I'm just gonna say, you go somewhere here, or just kind of out of the light right now.
That was
And if
going to be
things
my
go
flight pattern. Yes, I was going to sneak up right along. How do I ping? Double click.
You just hold it down.
Click and hold, yeah.
Right here, to right here, to right here,
Okay,
and then coming in.
perfect.
You can actually,
So
if you want to
Kitty
draw
just-
your flight pattern, you can use the freehand draw tool too, if you want.
Ah, freehand.
Okay, so real quick, Tiffany and Katie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
You're good.
the way I read this is you can make the illusion at least up to 30 feet away from you, but people can react to the illusion in whatever way seems reasonable, right? So they don't have to be 30 feet from the illusion, they can be more than that. So if you're flying and you want to cast minor illusion as if something's coming toward the camp, or even if you fly through the camp and then start casting it and like fly away, you could be making it like the noise is on the ground even though you're in the air like 30 feet up, right?
Ooh.
And then you could circle back. That's kind of how I'm reading it, but I don't think you can, like, you certainly can't go beyond the range of the spell. So just with all that in mind, like, how are you planning on doing that?
I think what I'll do is cast this illusion, let's not bottle up everybody just yet. I'm going to do the flyby, create the illusion, and then cause that initial distraction and see what yields of it. I still want to do a projection of like a rabbit or something delectable, something that pertains to like this forest environment. A cat just seems so...
It's got to be loud enough though, because there's 3 dogs and they're all widely spread out. So it has to be something that they're going to hear, high pitched, and run after.
And so I want to create...
Could be a dying rabbit.
A dying rabbit.
That's a horrible sound if you've never heard it. Like when coyotes get one.
Yeah.
And I basically want to stir up that sensation and have that as... But what I'm reading it as is only the sound or the image. I only get to pick one or the other.
It's a cantrip, and it's concentration. So if you cast it and you want to stay concentrating on it, you can do sound, sound, sound. Cast it again, sound stops, but the image appears, right?
Yes.
Why couldn't you do that?
I want to do exactly that. I just wanted to understand the bounds of, can I do multiple castings while I fly, or is it just the one once I go fly?
The only rule that's limiting you here is that it's a concentration spell. Oh, wait a minute. Let's just check this. You create sound objects. That doesn't say. Let's just make sure we don't want to cheat.
I don't see the word concentration.
I don't see concentration either.
Nope.
I know it's in my 2nd level spell for a different one that creates the illusion, and that one does say it's a duration of concentration up to a minute.
Okay, so essentially, if you want it to move, though, you have to move it. So it can't be more than 30 feet from you. And I'm gonna say you can. So the concentration thing kind of throws me off a little bit that it isn't, because I mean. What would stop you from having 50 illusions at one time? So let's say
I could do that.
Yeah.
Just suddenly plague them with bunnies.
Yeah. So let's say the limiting factor on this is really the 30 feet. So once you cast it, it sort of stays where you put it. Let's see. Create sound.
Or I can create cobalt.
Okay, that I feel like I was dumb not to think of.
Just suddenly create kobolds that just snicker and want to get close to the carts and rile up the dogs. And,
oh my gosh,
we just can't have him.
I was like, rabbit dying. So if I was a bandit at the fireplace and the dogs heard a rabbit dying, I'd be like, that's just a rabbit dying.
Yeah.
Like, let the dogs do their thing. So it has to be something that's going to trigger the dogs and the people.
Yeah.
Which a kobold sounds like it would.
Yeah,
Do
like
the
a
dying
kobold
rabbit
holding something that they think it stole, right? Because we don't want them to go to the cart to protect it, but we need it to like them to chase after whatever he has.
I
I feel like
think
more people are popping up. I feel like we need to just go.
Yeah, agreed. One other thing before we go, maybe we should keep Thrax in the hole though, because he tends to get a little bit excited around
Oi.
fighting. Rage. So maybe we keep him in his nappy
Yeah.
hole.
I can be
And
So
then-
let's keep Thrax in the hole. Me and Kitty can stay outside of the hole and go to the edge in case something happens.
Exactly.
We're able to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you guys doing? And I was just revealing the other mastiff because I figure after this amount of time, you guys. will
Oh,
be
okay.
pretty aware
Oh,
of it.
there's a
So
fourth-
it's not like I'm
there's
trying
four
to,
dogs.
Popping up.
I'm legit not trying to push you guys or anything.
Okay.
So now I'm certainly totally confused. What are you guys doing?
so. I am going to be carrying Thrax in the hole, or should I keep Thrax with you guys in the hole and just
No.
fly as best as I can? Okay. Well,
Now we're gonna stay out to make sure you're okay.
I'll keep Thrax in the hole and I'll put
Super
Thrax
Thrax,
up on my back.
Yep.
I gear up to do my silent flight. I am taking flight and I'm going to be above it. I don't know how large the illumination is in flight trajectory, but I just wanted to appear like I'm just a normal owl flying through the night, going across the top here.
Mm-hmm.
And creating that kerfuffle of illusion, the sound of the dying rabbit at first,
Mm-hmm.
and then having the mastiffs alerted to the sound, having their ears perk up, and
Mhm.
then try to have an illusion of a cobalt appear here. Sorry, it didn't look like I was still on draw. Shoot.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't know if we could see where that's located. An illusion of
I can't see. I see your flight path, but
okay.
where did you want the kobold to appear?
Let's see. I'm just gonna do a circle.
I can't see it either if you're drawing.
Just hold it down and ping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A cobalt to point, please. Thank you. A cobalt to appear right
okay.
here.
There. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another cobalt to appear right here.
Okay.
Another cobalt to appear right there.
Okay. So that'll be 3 turns in a row.
Mhm.
So you have to cast it and cast it. Just so that we can keep track of what's going on, I'm going to open the initiative order and go ahead and roll initiative for your. So don't forget to click on your token and then
Okay.
roll initiative.
Got it.
For the bandits, I'm just going to roll for the captain because he's definitely sort of the rules with an iron hand.
Ooh, my initiative 6.
Okay, what about man on there? We lost Katie for a second. Did your headphones die or something?
No, I was muted.
Oh, gotcha.
There we go.
All right, so
Oh,
where's
nice!
Thrax? Yeah, look at you
Nice.
go. Where's
That never
Thrax?
happens.
Is he in the
He's in the scroll.
Okay, so you've rolled it up and put it away.
Mhm.
Okay, none of you hear him go. I wonder how much air is in here. As you start to execute this plan. So what does everyone do now?
Well, I'm just gonna hold the ready action and follow as Hoots does his little path.
So you're going to try to make it across that clearing there to here?
Yeah, I guess I can't see that it's a clearing, so I just assumed it was all wooded.
Yeah, it's the road itself, so it's a little bit mucky and it's actually difficult terrain.
I can do some pretty good ninja rolls in this light armor, I feel like, which
All
isn't
right.
true.
So I'm assuming that you're not going fast, that you're going for quiet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, question: Hoots, are you waiting for your friends to get in position, or are you just going?
Wait, can I pause? Can we get in the hole and have Hoots fly us to the other side of the road so we're not walking across the road?
Yes.
Okay, then let's do that.
Yes.
Let's
yeah,
have
we can
Hoots
do
fly
that.
us in the hole to position, and then we
Okay.
can reassess.
And then Hoots can go over. He's not going to go straight to the cart.
And then
Okay.
open us up. We'll get
Yep.
out.
All
Back
right.
some
So
stains.
as soon as you're soon as you're in the
Okay.
under the trees, like anywhere there's a wooded area, it's not difficult terrain because it's not muddy. But yeah, you kind of got into this space. When you open the portable hole back up after everyone's in, like Thrax he doesn't want to be the only one in there. So let me make a wisdom saving throw for you. Okay.
Can you wink at
Are
him
you
or something?
Sure, this needs to happen. Do I have to stay in here by myself? But he's cool. He'll do it. So
I was like, he'll listen to Manon.
okay.
No, he'll listen to you.
Okay. So what's the plan? You guys are. Let's start with Manon again. You're now. Hoots has flown you across the muddy road. You're now in the trees. You can. It's getting a little bit later. Some of the fires are dying down a little bit, and the camp seems to be settling down.
I just want to get into position, I just want to start making my way through the trees over to this position.
Okay. We'll need 2 stealth rolls from you.
Oh no! Good thing I'm stealthy now.
You got
well,
this.
you're not. You're maybe not.
Ish.
Maybe not.
That was
stealthy.
my far away stealthy roll as
Okay,
a 3.
Let's have your second stealth roll.
So this is the one that matters. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
18.
As you're moving through the woods, one of the dogs starts to growl, and this guy is like kind of looking in your direction. Sorry, hold on. Uh-oh. Is he whispered? I don't know why he would be. Check. Perception. Okay. For now, you've made it to about here.
Okay.
And with his 3, you guys are kind of at a standoff as the dog is kind of growling, looking in that direction, and he's just sort of holding its leash. And he's kind of got a torch, but he can't really see through the woods there. You're in pretty heavy cover. Kitty, what are you doing?
I am going to triangulate myself about here with a stealth, just casual walk over, and I'm going to get into the ready action.
Okay. So let's have a stealth from you. So you're taking the hide action right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is a 19.
Okay, so that's good enough. Hoots, with Thrax in the portable hole, what are you doing?
All right. I will go ahead and fly over to here,
Okay.
to above the trees in the night.
Go ahead and move your token wherever you want to be and make a stealth roll with advantage since you're flying above the trees. So, yeah, 16, you're feeling like you're just at the limit of the torchlight, so you have to be careful not to fly into like that illuminated space, because your motion of flying through would immediately draw eyes to you. You're quite a bit bigger than a barn owl. So
Okay.
yeah, so you're like, you almost flew into the torchlight of the cart itself, even though that torch is burning down and it's pretty dim. But you're good for now. Although you do probably hear this dog growling.
Okay. And then I'm going to cast another minor illusion And I want it to be, let's see, how far away is 30 feet? Not quite far.
Yeah, we want to get them away from the cart.
I also don't want to cast the illusion and lead it right to Manon.
Make an intelligence, either just a straight up intelligence roll or even an insight if you have.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we could just send the cat out.
I can do
fast.
intelligence. I can do intelligence.
Okay.
Oh shit! I had that
That's
on.
fine. I'm going to say that you would have had advantage because of your view of this. So keep in mind that now that you guys had to cross the road, and like this whole area here, these guys have spread some like leaves around and like broken branches and whatnot, so they can move around a bit. But essentially, everywhere that is not a tree is difficult terrain, so they'll be moving at half speed as they go through it.
Okay.
So basically, if you're not in the woods, if you're in any of these open areas, you're on foot, your speed's going to be half.
Cool. That's helpful, actually. Hoots, what do you think about, I don't know if this will work, but what if you did a bandit? Like, so it almost looks like somebody's over by the cart already taking care of it, but it's our bandit, if that makes sense. The bandit's not going to move or talk or anything, but what if it's just like...
The problem with that is that my minor illusion, if we scroll back up, can only make an imprint no larger than 5 foot.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be small.
That makes sense.
What about a mastiff?
I think that the 5 feet refers to like a D&D square, right? So it's not necessarily talking about the height of it. It's just meaning it can't occupy more than like one grid space. Okay.
Oh, so
I
it
think,
can actually be...
I think I would say that a normal sized person would be achievable.
That makes sense.
Okay.
What do you guys think, or would that give it away? Do you think they're all real good with each other so they all know who's who in the zoo?
No.
Who's who in the zoo?
They're not a regimen.
No, I'm going to use my turn and I am going to cast Minor Illusion, which I'm going to put up again, boop, into the chat. And I am casting this over, let's see. I would want to cast the sound itself. And I'm still on the pointer. Shoot. All right. Cast a sound right here of the dying rat or the dying rabbit.
Okay. So as you do that, there's a squealing, awful sound, which makes you a little bit queasy, but it's coming like from underneath the cart, right? And essentially, you can make it as loud as a scream. So under the circumstances, it's around midnight, and there's all these people on watch, and so like you can imagine how everyone kind of jumps out of their skin as they hear this screeching sound from under the sort of in the neighborhood of the cart. So I'm just going to say that pretty much for the bandit's turn on bandit captain's turn, everyone is just sort of focused on that. So Hoots, you've accomplished that. All the eyes turn toward that. Manon, you kind of jump out of your skin a little bit. It's one thing to talk about, it's another thing to hear it. What do you do? Do you take any actions, or are you just still on ready action?
I'm just still ready action.
Okay, so the good thing is that this guy and the dog have turned their attention away from you to the cart. What about you, Kitty?
Same. I'm going to just stay in the ready action.
Okay. I will let both of you re-roll your stealth rolls to hide, so possibly to do better.
Like advantage?
What if I don't want to roll better?
Just in better, in case you roll better than last time. So.
Oh, got it.
Ooh.
For normal. 17 and 23.
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. So, Manon, you take advantage of the opportunity to kind of move. Like as soon as you feel that the guy's not focused on you, you kind of hide behind the tree trunk.
Okay.
And Kitty, you're obviously kind of focused on that. All of the bandits like get to their feet, and the dogs kind of come to the end, like with the people have them on leashes, and they kind of come to the edge of the mud. But you notice that the mud itself seems to be almost like more than difficult terrain, so they're hesitant to get into it. But they're sort of looking toward the wagon, and these guys like, so this is difficult terrain, so they're all kind of moving a little bit slower. These kobolds are not here. I just have them as place markers.
Got it. Okay.
So you've definitely, the whole camp is now like, what the hell was that? So that takes us to Hoots' turn.
All right. Now my predicament is needing to get over to, or doing a fly by the bigger group, or at least behind them to right here. I don't know if I can span that distance for flying.
So your flying speed is 30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
So you could, so this sound can keep going independently if you wanted to for a full minute.
Okay.
Or do you want it to stop?
I want it to keep going. I want
Okay,
it
so
their interest.
They're definitely, I will say that gives you advantage on your stealth roll.
Mm-hmm.
But so you could potentially dash to go 60 feet, and then you would sort of cancel out your advantage, but you'd still get to do a stealth roll. But you're in dim light, so they all have disadvantage to see you. So,
and that's
your call.
Let's see. Do I want to take the risk?
This game is so hard.
It is. 60 feet would bring me right over here. Right
Feels like
over
it's
here.
super high stakes right now.
I know it does.
We got your back.
It's dim light.
Wow.
I want to fly. Because in the shadow.
So we were saying that you're like 40 feet off the ground.
Okay.
That's a red arrow that I put on you right there. So the red arrow indicates 40 feet off the ground. So it's like the sound is coming essentially from the bottom of the wagon. But yeah, this screeching, awful sound. So essentially it's just whether or not you want to dash or not.
Mm-hmm. Because if I dash, I'd be able to position myself right there, but it's well lit.
But you're still above the torchlight. It only goes, you'd still be in dim light.
Okay, then yeah, I would want to be definitely up, and I want to end up being right here.
Okay, I will ping that for you.
Oh, I'm on my pointer.
And give me a stealth roll.
Here we go. Normal, straight up stealth.
You got this.
Oh.
You do have inspiration.
I want to use it.
All right, mark it off your character sheet, please.
It is marked off.
Gone.
That is a horrible setup. Getting that nat one.
Jeez.
Okay.
A lot better.
So as you fly above the cart, there's like a little downdraft, and you started to flutter into the absolute tip of the torchlight, and your wingtips, you could see them like light up for a second, and perhaps it would just look like a moment of like snow flurries, but you just like you just put all your effort into it to gain more altitude and get out of that, and then you've succeeded. Everyone is just still fixated on the screeching sound under the cart, so you managed to avoid disaster.
Oh
my God. I mean, we knew you had it the whole time.
He's like, never doubted you.
Never.
Okay. Manon, you thought you saw, just for the tiniest little moment, a flicker of movement above the cart, but then it's gone. What would you like to do? Are you just going to continue holding your action?
So I can tell that they're not looking at me now, right?
Oh yeah, they're fixated on the wagon now. They're whatever.
Okay. I would like to move, like, maybe here.
Okay. Stealth roll. I'll give you advantage because you're of the distraction.
Okay. I'm going to need that. Ooh!
Okay.
Nice.
You feel like you're
17.
You do feel like you're right on the limit of the torchlight. So if they come your direction, you might be in trouble.
Okay. Oh, I will be ready to step back.
Okay. Kitty.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I just think it's safe. I'll stay in the ready action.
Okay. He's like, you see this guy, he's shouting now at the men. What is that? What the hell is that? And he's like, you, get in there, figure it out. Oh, damn it. And the guy starts like clock, like moving his way into the mud, and then everyone's like jeering at him, like, ah. And so instead of moving half speed, he's actually moving quarter speed. So he's like, just like one boot in, pull it out, next boot in. So it's really slow going. Hoots.
Okay, so he is right there, 40 feet up, so it's good. I'm not in the light. I think now is a perfect opportunity for me to cast another minor illusion, and I want it to be that of like an injured bunny, like to hobble its way out of the wagon in front of all of these guys' views, and to make a dart over to the in waiting illusionary kobolds.
Yes. Genius.
Okay. All right, so we just need something to be a bunny rabbit for us. Oh, jeez, I just need anything really. I'm just going to use the little dog that we had last time. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm going to say you can make it appear there. Plus you can move either your 30 feet or your 60 feet. And move it with you. So is that what you want to do?
Yes, that's what I'd want to do.
Okay, cool.
Because I got to get closer to the illusionary kobolds.
Good news is it's only hand motion, somatic, and material bit of fleece, so you don't have to make any noise to cast this spell. So you're getting away with that. So poof, the little bunny appears as if it popped out of the bush, and everyone's like, whoa! And okay, so tell me again what you're doing.
That this is going to be an illusion that's coming from out underneath the cart.
Oh, okay. So you want it to appear here,
but then make a dart towards the awaiting kobolds.
Okay. So okay. So you can make it appear here and then use your action to make it move 30 feet. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. So it's sort of darting that direction. I'm going to say that if you move with it, you can get an extra, because I know what you're trying to do, and the game mechanics are not helping us here.
Yeah.
So let's say that let's just say if you were to do this and move here, you could kind of force it along with yourself. And it may not look 100% convincing, but it is dark and you have torchlight and all this stuff. And then you've got these 3 kind of standing kobolds that were there that you had already created, right? Mm-hmm. So that's going to take you to the end of your turn. Man on Kitty holding station?
Yep.
Okay. Captain, let's see. I just need to see what he can see. There we go. All right. right, so he sees that, and the bandits are all kind of seeing it. This bunny flying through the air. Hoots, can I get you to roll stealth again?
Oh, my stealth? Absolutely. Make sure I'm
Yeah.
clicked on myself and...
Okay, so that's pretty good, given that you're up at that height. You kind of,
Being solid.
the bunny kind of heads towards the kobolds. Now these guys, they all turn and see the kobold there, or the kobolds there, and they're like, "We're under attack." Is the noise still coming from the wagon, or did you turn that off?
Turn that off.
Okay, so the bunny's coming out when the noise stops. These guys now think they're under attack. They're all going to move as one, just because I don't want to do like, a bunch of like initiatives and stuff. So they're going to move 15 feet. As I said, this is all difficult terrain. As a group. There we go. It's going to be like, you can hear them all like, oh, they're definitely falling for it, right? So taking their light with them. 15 feet. These guys may get there a little bit quicker. Okay, so that's the bandits, which takes us back to Hoots.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So with this opportunity, now that their attention was diverted from the rabbit, now onto these illusionary kobolds, I seize this opportunity to go and perform that fly over to the cart.
You can make it.
I can make it.
Yep,
and
it puts you right on the driver's seat.
Right on the driver's seat.
Yep.
That's
just your movement. That's no actions.
That is not actions.
So you've kind of like pushing the rabbit along. You're casting these spells. The rabbit's just kind of running ahead of you. You just bank and turn, and then let's have a stealth roll as you land on the driver's box.
Carefully. Oh my gosh, nerve-wracking.
Come on, Hoots. Come on, Hoots.
Nice.
Woo! 24.
With nary a sound, your claws just click, just like the lightest little click. But with everyone shouting and yelling, "Kobolds, we're under attack!" It's completely like nothing. What do you do for your action?
For my action, I want to get all of my options here. All of my options. Okay, I think we're good on that. I am going to begin the process of taking out the magical hole itself and proceed to lay it onto the cart.
Okay, so I'm going to say with your natural 20 from last time, you really understand, you studied it, you understand how it works. The driver's box is actually elevated above the 5 crates that are back there, but the driver's box is nice and flat, and you roll it out as your action, curving it around the one edge, but it's still on a flat edge. And as the starlight and your dark vision looks down in the hole, you can see Thrax there looking up at you, and he's like, okay. And then
I gesture like this.
Okay. He is going to roll initiative to get into the turn order. Where did I put it?
Oh no!
Okay, so can you put yourself on the wagon, please?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so here goes Thrax. Why did I roll twice? I'm just gonna average those two. I don't know why that rolled twice. We're gonna call that a 13.
Yep.
And descending. Okay, so he has climbed out as his action, and he's got to make a stealth check himself. Not so great, but everyone is sort of looking the wrong direction. So
Thank
the
God.
only person who's got a real shot at it is this guy. And you guys are in dim light, so disadvantage.
Come on, no. No.
A 3. He's too focused on what's going on over there. So you and Thrax are now on the cart, and no one is looking at you. That's Hoots. You're actually the last in the turn order. So Kitty, what do? You can barely make that out in the dim torchlight because you're looking for it.
Looking for it, and then I see the faint outline of
Some
a very
motion on the cart. Yeah.
some motion on the cart, and I get a little anxious. My kitty senses start to make my hair rise a little bit. So I decide to. I don't think I can move. Let's 30 feet. Let's do this ruler here. I'm gonna move to about here to get closer to Manon, just to make sure we can be a team since we trust each other so much.
Oh yeah, you
I
guys.
was gonna say, oh, now you want to be a team.
You know, I watch Manon's back always.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
You watch it sprout knives. Okay. Let's have a stealth roll with advantage, considering the distraction.
In a podcast of this, we'd have to make it clear that me and Chanel are like really good friends.
Really,
Yeah.
like outside of this,
We're not actually enemies in the slightest.
Could
Okay.
you imagine? They're like, she put up your cat flyer posters for us. She'd never do that.
She hates you. Very clearly hate each other.
Hella
Yeah,
22.
you are completely unnoticed, and you can now have a better view of Hoots and Thrax on the back of the cart. Roll a perception check with advantage.
Got it. And
Okay,
17?
with a 17, do you see this tree right here that Manon's under?
yes,
So actually this green one
so the
is...
brighter green one.
Yeah, so it is actually, because of the way the map works, the cart is on top of it, but the cart is actually under that tree.
Okay, I wasn't sure if those are leaves, so I'm
You
glad you said
think you
something.
see like a path where you could potentially, with a great degree of difficulty, acrobatics up the tree and jump onto the cart. It would be very difficult to land silently, but it's you didn't notice it from the other side of the map. But
Yeah.
now that you're here, that's a path that's open.
Well, my cat-like
Uh,
reflexes, I think I'm gonna shoot for a flippy dismount perfectly
Okay.
on top of the cart.
So next turn, we'll
Yeah,
pursue
do
that. Manon, you see no such option.
Yep, that makes sense.
I'm going to say that
That's
you
par
are
for the
just,
course.
you're sort of holding your position there.
Oh, wait.
What?
I saw Kitty coming at me, so I wanted to move the opposite way. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I just want
Okay.
No, can
That
I
was good.
pick up a rock? Look for potentially a rock or something to throw, so that in case for some reason anybody's attention like leaves this where they're supposed to be, and I can throw it maybe like this direction
No.
to like make sound in the bushes, so people are like, "Wait, what's up there?" Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's my plan.
All right.
Perfect.
So, good news, bad news. Everybody's moving that direction. Difficult terrain. They're not dashing because they don't want to slip and fall in the mud. But one group is going to get to the illusionary kobold, and as soon as they attack it next turn, they'll realize it's an illusion. Whether or not they know what that means or what to do about it, that's another question.
So we gotta
Right.
move quick.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's Thrax's turn. Thrax looks at the five crates, and he kind of gives you one of these. Like, what do we do?
The items. I
What's
just
it? Sorry.
I gesture with my wings, like all 5.
He goes. Thrax looks at you. He raises an eyebrow, and he goes, "Fuck it." And then he goes into a rage
Of course he does.
and picks up one of the crates.
Look at Thrax.
So he needs a strength check with advantage. because he has to pick it up by himself, basically. All right, so stealth check with advantage. So which crate do you want him to pick up?
The one that is closer to the veil, the hole.
Okay, so there's the kind of the one you're standing on, and there's this one, and then
That
there's
one.
So this one here.
Yeah, the
Okay.
one that I'm not standing on, the second option.
He picks it up. He's like on the edge. He picks it up, and you're like amazed because it's a 5-foot crate, and he just kind of picks it up. He's gritting, and there's sweat pouring down his. He looks like an anime character, right? Like, it's about to go Super Saiyan. But when he turns and he goes to set it down, it kind of clanks against the outside of the thing, and then he like drops in, and it kind of lands on him. But yeah, basically his stealth is only 9. So again, this dog would have moved over here. So again, it's basically this guy and the dog who have a chance to hear that or see that.
Oh, so he put it in the hole,
Yeah.
but also fell into the hole.
Kind of, yeah. He's half in, half out.
Okay.
The bandit rolled a 4, and the dog rolled 6, which is lower than 9. So somehow they didn't notice that.
Thank God.
Okay, Hoots, what do you do? This box is now in the portable hole, so I'm gonna move it off the lair.
Okay. Seeing how marvelously that Ed like conducted, and I'm just like like I grab.
Chanel, are you okay?
Yeah.
I really
Just waiting.
I really hate to do this to Thrax, but I am gonna try to shimmy, like take the initiative to, instead of not utilizing Thrax to throw the crates in, I'm gonna roll up the thing and then redrape it over the crates. So hopefully they have the chance to fall in naturally. Or if that's possible.
Okay, so gravity would still work.
Gravity would still work? Okay.
But if you open the crate, okay, I'll tell you what you can do. This is a really fascinating idea. Because the portable hole won't create a portal until it is laid flat on something.
Right.
It's not entirely clear by the rules whether there's like this side down or if whichever way you roll. Right?
Like that's what I want to flip it over and have it just like suck
But
in.
not have the crate and Thrax fall out of it.
Yeah,
Right.
is it like Stranger
Right.
Things where
Okay, so this is really cool. Okay, so we are going to have you roll an Arcana as you try to envelop the other crate. Okay?
And your Arcana has to be high because you're a sorcerer.
Yep.
You would think so.
You would think.
Hopefully.
What do you
All right.
What do you have for Arcana?
I have a 5.
Love it.
I do have a
pretty
chance.
good.
Love it.
Plus 5, okay. I will say with advantage because you did roll this natural 20 as you were. Well, you do have your heroic dice too, so let's just say you can use your heroic dice if you want.
If it turns
If
south.
it goes bad, right?
With advantage better.
You don't need that. So basically, as Thrax disappears into the portable hole,
Oh, nice.
and this imminent crashing sound is about to happen, you just lift up the corner of the portable hole, and then the portal's gone. And so whatever noise happened as he hit the bottom is contained within the portable hole. You don't even have to roll it up. You just sort of get inspired and you wrap the edge of one of the crates and just sort of envelop it, folding the portable hole with silk, and then it poof, like a magic trick. We're just like poof, it's gone. So now another crate has been enveloped into the portable hole.
No, he's crazy. Oh,
I don't know what just happened.
Inspired.
He is gut. Close. He's like rolling each crate this way, and he's just getting pummeled by the crate.
So the second crate probably just cleaned his clock.
He's gonna be really mad when he gets out of it.
Yeah. Hoots is like, if he gets out.
Yeah.
But Hoots in a panic is just trying to get like the mission accomplished. So
Right.
I don't know
Right.
what item we need to grab. She was.
I can imagine,
I am just grabbing all 5 crates.
That was freaking brilliant.
imagine like watching it as Manon, and like all of a sudden I see like Thrax come out and like make a lot of noise and be like, "Who?" And then Hoots be like, "Meh," and like throw it upside down. And then all of a sudden like, bam, 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 like, ugh.
You two are just feeling super helpless over here. Okay, Kitty, you're up.
Okay. I am going to use one of my rogue powders. And I am going to, I have this thing for it, I'm pretty sure. Let me just put it into the chat.
I don't think you have a in the chat, but you can just tell us. Or no, yeah, I think it is. I think
I'll
there
put
it
it,
is.
yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
I almost missed it. And within 30 feet, because
So you
I
wanna get
moved
Manon in there
30
too?
feet, yes, I'm going to put Manon and myself.
You might do this at the start of the thing.
Well, you know, you gotta come out with things with flair, okay? It's all about
Think about how
timing.
much less drama there would have been.
No.
Okay, mark off a rogue's powder, please.
Okay, did. Done.
All right, you and Manon have plus 10 to stealth checks.
Perfect. And now what I'm going to do is try to do a fancy hop over to the next tree and dismount onto the crate or the...
Okay, so here, that's 30 feet there. And then you can... So here's what we're going to do. This is kind of the path you have to take. You see that?
Yep.
Okay, so you're actually going to have stealth with disadvantage, but you have
Because
plus
of the
10.
muck.
Right.
Yep.
No, because you're up in the tree and you're moving
Oh,
fast.
got
And the branches are going to like shake
Make
as
moves.
you know, stealthy or no, but also here's the thing, you're dashing, right?
Yep.
But you're getting a preview of being a second level rogue, getting
Okay.
to use your bonus action to dash. So you're using your movement and your bonus action to dash. Use your action to apply the rogue's power.
Perfect.
So let's have a stealth check with disadvantage.
Do I have to do 2 or 1?
1. So just click disadvantage and
Oh,
you had a 33.
Perfect.
nice.
Manon,
Heck yeah.
you didn't even. Well, actually, Manon, roll a perception. Let's see if you even know
Oh.
that Kitty's above your head.
I know. I obviously know.
Nova knows.
Yeah, Nova's
Yeah.
chewing on her balls
Um,
here.
Actually, you
Manon.
didn't get a 33, so you don't know. I mean,
Wait, what?
You're like, where the hell did she go? You're like, she deserted us.
You just hear this like
exactly,
poof.
exactly.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Okay, so Kitty, you are in position to leap down onto the wagon from the tree branch.
Do I have to
but
wait
it's
till
like
the next?
20
Yeah.
feet down,
That's good.
and you can see Hoots doing some kind of witchcraft with the portable hole, and one of the boxes disappears. You might have heard the slightest sound. Manon, what do you do? Suddenly you feel a lot more stealthy. You're like, I'm getting the hang of this.
Ooh. I'm getting the hang of this. And I can see.
Yeah, you're so happy you can see. It's amazeballs.
I'm starting to feel confident because I'm like, ooh, I feel very stealthy. So I want to
Yeah.
move up and see what's actually happening up there.
Okay, so you can get to the edge of the mud here, but you do realize that like kind of where the map is a little bit discolored, that's the edge of the mud hole, and
Okay.
at that stage it becomes almost impassable terrain. But you can definitely see Hoots. Thrax is gone again, but Hoots has just used the portable hole in some
Yeah.
way.
I'll just
Okay.
go there and see what I can see.
This mastiff and this bandit, they attack the kobold, causing it to just disappear. I'm assuming the rabbit just kept going. Actually, as soon as you're not controlling it, it doesn't move as an illusion, right? It just sort of stays still. So I feel like they would run by the rabbit These guys are gonna get here and attack. Basically, this is sort of what's happening. I'm just gonna move them all. These guys have to kind of go around. There you go. All right, so the one of the kobolds has been dispelled, and there's like a shout of surprise, like what the hell is going on? But they're not quite at the stage where they quite have figured out what's going on yet. I'm gonna have them start rolling like insight next round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Thrax takes a D6 of bludgeoning damage as a crate lands on his head. He takes half damage because he's raging, but that actually keeps him in his rage because if he takes damage every round, he can stay raging.
Perfect.
He will thank you for that.
In his little hole, he's raging.
Okay, so he's in the hole. He's got this other. He's like, oh my god, Hoots is so much stronger than I thought he was, and he's like arranging the crates in the hole. Hoots, what do you do?
Okay, so there are 3 crates left to envelop.
Yep.
All right, I get to work on all these 3 crates that I
Okay.
am working as fast as I can.
So again, we're just going to say that you can do one automatically with your action. So you're going to roll Arcana again. If you get above a 15, you can use your bonus action to grab another one.
Okay, sweet. Come on, Arcana.
Okay, 15.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
let's take the
That was-
advantage off. Yeah,
Great
we
job.
always do the one on the left if we accidentally roll advantage. So 15, you are good, and you absorb 2 crates with the portable hole. Okay,
I
there's
do love
one-
that the crates are disappearing on the map.
Mhm.
Can I
One-
move over
Can we
to like the spot?
Oh yeah, you still
Okay.
got your movement, so you're definitely in position for that last one. Thrax. It takes 4 points of
Sorry,
bludgeoning
man.
damage. Boom, boom, crunch. Okay, Kitty.
Just the visual. Okay, I am going.
You are watching this happen.
Yes. I am going to drop down onto the. Shoot. Actually, I'm going to take the ready action and just stay set to go. I'm not going to go down to the crate. I'm going to stay up in the tree.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception. Okay.
25.
So you're looking at, and mind you, they're taking most of the torches with them.
Mhm.
Looking straight down, as soon as they turn around, they're going to see something's up, right?
Mhm.
And you'll be, if they turn around and they may not see you like up in the tree right now, but you and Manon, you'd be in a bit of trouble if they, at some point, you guys have got to start thinking about getting out of here. Is what you've,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to drop. Well, shoot then. Maybe I
That's
should
kind
drop.
of your turn.
Okay, yeah, we'll
Okay.
do that then.
But you've kind of like, you're
At
like,
least I know
oh,
what's
they've gotten
assessing.
to the kobolds, right?
Mhm.
So, Manon.
Yeah, the
So I'm
golems.
not stealthy, and I'm like, oh, okay, Hoots is pretty close. Kitty's up there. I'm gonna start retreating
Okay.
with the rock still in my hand, able to throw it,
Yep.
like distract.
Yep.
So that's my plan.
Okay, so move yourself 30 feet and do a stealth roll with disadvantage, but
What?
with plus 10.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll go there.
Then you go.
Disadvantage.
Yep.
Oh, thanks. Plus 10.
Yep.
Stealth.
Yep. 19? Yeah. So there's a
Not
threshold where you're good, and 19 is above that threshold. So you
Perfect.
are moving back toward kind of where you came from. The bandits, this group of bandits wipes out this kobold, and they're starting to shout like, hey, what's going on? There's some kind of trick, right? So basically, there's one kobold left. These guys are still moving this direction. And the bandit captain is basically going to have to make an insight check. Right now, the roll he needs is 15.
That's high.
And
It's good for us.
if he rolls better than a 15, he's going to realize that the treasure is under attack. If not, he's going to kind of continue. Yep.
Oh, Tanelia jinxed it.
He's like looking at it, and then he's like, wait a minute. Hey. And all eyes start to turn back toward the cart. Good news is, from his point of view, he's looking through the darkness. That is a very dim light of a torch. I'm just going to have him roll a perception. This is going to be straight up, though, because he's... so Hoots, do a stealth roll better than a 12, please.
Stealth, there we go.
Nice. Okay, so it's too, like, there's a couple of snow flurries. It's too dark, and he's like shouting at everyone, back to the cart! And that makes it Hoots' turn.
All right. I gather up that last crate. I'm
Okay, so we've established you can do it as a free action, or as your action.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, Thrax takes another D6. So he's down there doing origami with carts. You have absorbed it. That is your action. The last crate disappears into a pocket dimension of a portable hole. What do you do with your movement, bonus action?
Do I see that Kitty is right there by the cart?
Not unless you roll a 33.
Yeah, I can't beat that. Because I believe that it is just me and Thrax, that Kitty and Nanon were over in the trees. I gear up to do a this one, Misty Step.
Beautiful.
As my bonus action. I use this to briefly surround myself in the mist, to levitate myself up 30 feet to make
you're Misty stepping straight up?
Straight up.
And then you're going to fly 30 feet?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Okay, mark off the spell slot, please. So you disappear into a silvery mist. The crate's gone with you, and you are 30 feet in the air, and then go ahead and move yourself 30 feet as your movement. And I will say that's a stealth with advantage on that one. Yeah, right there.
Heck yeah.
All right, move myself. Oh, I stopped it roller. God, I need to get used to that.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yoink. All
Okay.
right, and then
Stealth
stealth.
with advantage, please. All right, that is not bad. It's right above the threshold. So you start to fly away. Kitty, you hear the flapping of her wings and realize that the entire group of guards has turned back toward you, maybe minus one or two, who go ahead and dispel that other kobold. And they are going to start heading your way. So what do you do?
I start making my way back the same way I came. And
Okay.
is that still a 2-step dash because my rogue powder?
Yeah, you can basically catch up to Manon with your... So basically you have to move like this because you're in the tree. So you have to go like 30 feet this way. But I think what we've kind of established here is that you're going to go second level rogue because you've learned to bonus action dash, basically. So you use your movement, your bonus action, and now you've still got another 30 feet of movement. So you can actually blow right by Manon if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to, as I keep moving forward, I'm going to tap Manon on her right shoulder and then zip past her on the left.
Roll a deception check, please.
Got it.
Can I flip you off? How do I flip her off?
That's a team.
Manon, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom solid.
You got a solid wisdom. So basically, you're like, I've not fallen for that. So you're like flip her off with the left hand as she goes by. With your okay, so basically, you've got the two of you on your feet on the ground have rogue's powder, to +10 to stealth. You guys are not in difficult terrain. It's going to take them like 3 or 4 turns just to get into where you guys are right now. I'm going to say, what do you do when you get back to your rally point?
Ooh.
This is
We go back to
important.
town.
Yeah, we make our way back. Yeah,
Is that what you do?
What are we missing? I think,
And
guys.
smile. That's not
The
what
gnome.
we do. Oh
I
yeah,
want to go
Rami.
make sure the gnome is
Rami.
okay. Rami.
Yes.
Okay, so the 4 of you find the gnome waiting where you told him to wait quietly, with about 15 or 20 human guards running through the woods toward you. Their torches, lighting extra torches. They've now realized that their treasure's been stolen. They would have found him, and it wouldn't have been good. So you guys put him. I'm assuming you put him in the portable hole.
Everybody
Yeah,
in
good
the
job,
portal.
Hoots.
I'll fly
Yeah.
out
And
all
then
the way
Hoots,
there.
so with Hoot's ability to fly, and you guys are unimpeded by the difficult terrain of the muddy ground, the humans have no chance of catching you. You have returned to Cobb successfully with
Oh my
5
God,
crates
Nice.
of loot. And you guys immediately, Hoots, what do? You can see the town. It's like 1 in the morning. There's a few lights twinkling. You can smell the wood smoke, but you're flying silently through the air. What would you do at this stage? You got 3 of your companions plus Rami the gnome.
I utilize this as like my own like victory kind of swoon into the air.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm
Aw,
clear from
like,
there. I'm having like the best time. I feel as if I've gained like the trust from everybody inside. I'm trying not to sway too much as to not shift the load inside, but like I'm using the wind of the coast to my advantage to swoop down and very nicely. But at the same time, I've got like the hugest smile on my face, and I'm telling myself that I can't believe I've done this. I've found amazing friends. I've learned a few
Aw.
from Kitty, and Manon was there to protect me and little Thrax. Oh jeez, I gotta apologize to him and make my way to the doorsteps. And
Okay, so you land on the porch.
Mhm.
So
and
wait,
there's it's like candlelight on the porch. Man,
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry,
I
Katie.
think that as Boots comes in, he should be excited and like accidentally bank too hard as he's like, woo! And then he hears like Thrax go, oof, and be like, oh, no, oh, shoot.
I thought about
I think
that.
that's funnier.
That's great. But you guys notice when you're in the portable hole, as soon as it gets rolled up, it's like an extra dimensional space with no relationship to the outside world. So you guys just feel as if you're floating in a void. And apart from the pissed off half orc, it's not a bad ride, actually. But actually, Hoots, while you were out partying in the sky before you land on the porch, you two, along with Thrax and Rami, can look at the crates. I'm going to say you can look at 3 of the crates before you even land.
Okay.
Easy enough
So
for
pick 1 through 5.
Yeah, just pick a number 1 through 5.
Do we all pick a number or like one? Well, unless Tiffany
You
or
can pick,
Hoots, I
you can
mean.
pick 3 of them. So it's Kitty, Manon, and Thrax, and Rami are in the portable hole with the 5 crates.
Okay, perfect.
So you want to go first, Kitty?
Yes, I want to pick number 1.
Number 1. So you use your crowbar, right?
Yes, my crowbar.
To pry the lid off of the crate, and you
'Cause
find.
I get really excited, and my
bolt.
eyes
where's
get
my
super
pen?
wide as
You know what
my
a bolt
thief.
of a bolt of cloth is? Like an actual bolt, like a
It's
roll
like
of cloth.
like on a roll.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of full of bolts of leather and cloth.
Okay.
And your trained eye for value, you got about 150 gold pieces worth of high value material here.
Ooh.
Okay. Manon, pick a number.
4.
That was the one that Hoots first absorbed. This is full of ceramic jugs. Maybe a couple of them are broken. All together worth about 25 gold pieces. They're empty. And one more before we land.
I will make that choice up to a D6.
Roll it. Yeah, I was gonna say roll it.
There you go.
Smart.
We've already done a
did
1. We already did a 4.
Drum
Come on,
roll.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
So, number 5.
This is the crate that you were after. The instant you open it, you realize that this has to be the one. Packed inside of it are a number of things that are wrapped in soft padding and like straw and hay. You find Kitty, you and Manon you're looking at this at the same time. You find a quiver, like a quiver that would hold arrows, except it is beautiful and of the highest quality leather and stitching you've ever seen. Like, you can't even think of a value that it would have. As you kind of pick that up to the side, there's a little, like a box, like a jeweler's box. There is a jug, and this jug is like those other ceramic jugs, except it is heavy and obviously full of liquid. It's got a spout at the top, and it's got like 8 spouts around the side, each with a cork in it. There is a mace, a beautiful weapon inscribed with holy symbols. There is a full set of silver plates, cups, bowls, and flatware. Kitty, again, you're like, oh yeah, that's about 200 gold pieces worth of plates. There are 3 paintings. There's another small jeweler's box, but at the bottom, as you sift through all of this, is a thing you cannot comprehend. It is an oaken, brass, gold, and silver device of some kind with a flat face on the front and hands. You would Chenille would recognize it as a clock, but Kitty has no idea what it is. Like a grandfather clock.
Grandfather. Okay.
Yeah. At this point, Hoots, you have landed on the porch, and you're standing in very dim, like candlelight, and you realize, what do I do? So, what do you do?
As soon as I land, I'm going to do a wrapping on the door.
Okay.
I don't unload just yet. I do the wrap on the door.
Okay. A number of seconds goes by, and Holpep appears in her nightrobe, her like bathrobe, and opens the door, and it's very dimly lit in the shop. Hurry, come in, dearie. Where are the others?
That to be seen, please.
She closes the door, locks it. She checks all the draperies to make sure everything is dark and no one can see inside. What happened? Where's Rami?
To the lounge, to be seen. Let's get back to the area.
Okay, lead the way.
So we go up the stairs and we get to this area, and carefully I grab and unfurl it out, and I look down below. Okay, guys, bring it on up.
So just about the time you have finished, you realize this clock face is this strange device that is in motion. Light pours in from a hole above your head, 6 feet in diameter, and you now see you are in the living room of the gnomes.
My word! Oh. I just am amazed by like what I'm seeing.
Oops.
Oh, why are you doing that?
Hang on a sec. I'm gonna just take a -1 to this. What's your armor class, Hoots?
Armor class 15.
Oh, now she's attacking us?
No, Thrax punched you.
Yes.
In
As
the
I'm looking
face.
down in the hole, I get a.
But it just barely glanced off of your face and your feathers, and you kind of stagger back, and he climbs up. Don't do that again.
I punch Thrax or punching her?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What am I rolling?
Just roll a d20 plus your strength bonus.
D20. Plus my strength?
Yeah.
3?
What's your strength bonus? 3. You do 4 hit points of damage to Thrax.
Oh, well, shit. He doesn't need that. But he needed it.
He's enraged.
He
Tough,
needed it, but
right?
he needs it.
Hang on a second. Make an athletics roll. You and Thrax are like wrestling. He's like, I'm gonna take you down. And you're basically like keeping him at bay, and you're like, stop it. You two are acting like hooligans in the gnome's house. And Kitty, as you climb out of the portable hole, Holpep and her husband's still sitting there smoking his pipe, and he just raises an eyebrow, and Holpep's like, oh, I'm sorry, is this normal Dragonborn and half-orc behavior?
It's
She's
looking to go.
asking Kitty.
It's looking to go. Yeah, pretty much. You get used to it.
Can I just yell, just let it happen?
She's like, I don't think I will. Get used to it, I mean. Anyway, it seems you were successful. Rami, get out of there. And the young gnome comes out. Oh, he climbs out, and he's like, you should have seen it. They were brilliant. You've been successful then.
We have.
Gesture towards the crates that were located inside. It's to my assumption that the crates are still remained unopened.
As you look down, you can plainly see that your companions are not patient people.
Oh, right, because of the clock that I saw. Yep.
Yeah, so you're looking down into it, and basically you can see that they popped the lids on 3 of them.
Gotcha.
And Holpep sees the same thing, and you see tears come to her eyes, and she actually begins to weep, and she's like, "Oh, there it is!" And she can't contain herself. She climbs into the box, and starts to try to lift it out. She's like, Rami, Errol, get down here, help me with this. And they work together. He goes and grabs a ladder, and you all begin to pull everything out one item at a time. Let's find out what else was in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it.
I also want to know what we get for bringing it back successfully.
Candles, lanterns, torches, and flasks worth 80 gold pieces. And the last thing is one of them is just completely full of apples.
Nice.
Oh,
Camping
glad we didn't
supplies.
open that one.
Okay, so basically, Holpep says that she will pay you market value for everything in the crates as a reward. And
Yes.
she just wants the clock. And she sets it up and explains what it is. It's a device built by an ancient gnome tinkerer that tells time. And it is priceless to her. So really quickly, just go through this one thing at a time. So the apples are not really worth much. We'll say, Chenille, I think you are our treasurer, yeah?
Yep.
Do you have the spreadsheet, the Google sheet with the treasure on it?
Let me go ahead and go to our spreadsheet. I do, but I need to keep it a little bit more up to date, so that's on me. So I know that I have 6 gold pieces. How many gold pieces do you have? Yeah.
So keep you guys are more than welcome to keep treasure on your character sheets for just throwing around spending money, right? But on the party tracker, that'll be for these big hauls like this.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. So let's just keep our what we have on
So
hand to ourselves in our own wallets. Okay.
Exactly. So starting
right
with
now,
this, the paintings are worth 25 gold pieces. So you go ahead and put 25 gold pieces on that on the coins.
Got
You
it.
see where it says coins?
I have weight.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why.
So that's
Okay,
weight. Yeah. So go
Let
up
me
here
remove that.
to the coins at the top.
Oh, yep.
Where it
I
says
just need to make
GP.
sure this says 0 so that everything gets that. So gold pieces, yep, coins. We
There
have
you go.
25 there.
a small box with 8 50 gold piece rubies. So over there where you see rubies,
Ooh.
put
Yep.
50 where it says gold pieces, put 50.
Got it.
And then where it says the number, put 8. And then that
Got
should
it.
do the math for you.
Perfect.
Okay. You open that little jeweler's box, and inside of it is a necklace with a heavy white gold chain and a purple amethyst cat eye.
Got
which
it.
just is super appealing to you.
Yes, it is.
And you kind of want to just wear it.
I do. I really do.
Would you like to try to do a sleight of hand and just put it on?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
do a sleight of
yes, I
hand.
would.
Nice.
Y'all can roll perception and see if anyone notices her put that necklace on from the.
I try to beat a 22.
Oops, you trusting?
Yep.
You know, Thrax might have a chance.
He
'Cause
might.
he's
He
always
just
looking-
might. Okay.
He was looking
No.
probably at Katie's tail. Wrong end. So no, he did not notice. Okay, so basically, as you guys are kind of looking through this stuff, the quiver, the jug, and the mace, Hoots, you just like instinctively know that these are magical items.
Mhm.
And so you kind of like, hey, we should take time to look at these later. And you start going through the rest of the crates. One
So
at a
add
time.
that to your items list too. Oops.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
The leather and cloth, put another 150 gold pieces on there, so that makes it 175.
Ooh.
She
Got it.
pays you happily in cash. And the ceramic jugs were worth, did we already say the 25 for the ceramic jugs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, $25.
Yeah. So 150.
So 200.
Put 10 silver pieces on there for apples.
Got it.
Yes.
And then she will give you each a diamond worth 100 gold pieces. So if you
Oh,
want to put that on the gem tracker, so just put like below the rubies, right? Diamond, 100 gold times 4.
Got it.
Okay. And she offers you are more than welcome to stay with her, Errol, and Rami tonight. She
Yes.
has guest rooms.
I think we need that.
We will stay.
Okay, it is late. It is dark. You guys have been through a bit of an adventure. Let's all have a Constitution saving throw and see if anyone starts to struggle with exhaustion.
Oh, that's lame.
Thrax is fine. Manon,
I'm not.
16.
You're not used to sneaking around. Hoots, this is one of the best days of your life. If you don't go to sleep, you're going to be cranky.
Or I'm just way too enthusiastic and that I just grow like way tired.
Yeah.
And
Result
the
of it.
adrenaline is run
Like
off.
this is so amazing.
It's like Halloween. So you guys are like all in one guest room, and there are like 3 beds in there, and Drax is on the floor, just kind of smiling to himself, and he's just sitting there, kind of holding some of the coins that you guys got and playing with the gems and like setting them up, and then Hoots is like walking back and forth, and you end up on one of the beds. You don't remember getting there, but you fall asleep like with the jug in your arms.
I am holding on to the jug.
Yeah. Manon, you're not used to sneaking around, and you didn't really like wearing this leather armor, so you kind of get rid of that. You get your armor cleaned up, and then without really planning to, you just sort of fall asleep. And that leaves Kitty and Thrax kind of just looking at one another and like talking about the treasure and what a good haul it was. And then you wake up in the morning to the smell of bacon and pancakes.
Aww.
And you guys all sort of have a positive feeling about Holpep. She does warn you that the that Orin is on high alert now, that they know that they've been robbed. And so don't show any of that treasure around, especially anything that came out of the box. So if you do take the time to look at the quiver, the jug, and the mace, then you should definitely hide them until you're out to sea.
No, because that's where Umberlee's going to be like, wait a minute.
Unless we can sneak out and they don't know we're on the ship, though. But we'll see. Could be.
That was a complete sentence.
It was. So
But
yeah,
nobody reacted to.
yeah. So I was trying to think just because people worship the Platinum Dragon doesn't mean he's everywhere, right? So like, he's not gonna just like come to your beck and call any more than Umberlee would, right? So just because he worships that god doesn't mean that she'll do anything for him, right? So yeah. It's more saying about him than it is about her, right? So so what would the plan be? Let's say that it's around 9 a.m. and with Hoots' natural one on the con save, he's still out cold, like just snoring, and you guys are like, hey, it's getting close to 10 a.m. We need to get our butts on the ship, right?
Yep.
So you eventually have to wake Hoots up, stuff some breakfast in him, and make your way down to the dock. It is a perfectly clear, bright, sunny day, cold, but you have no trouble with the dockmaster this time getting aboard a jolly boat, getting across the little land bridge, and then out to the Cheerless, where you are welcome aboard by the captain and shown your little corner of the deck where you're allowed to set up hammocks, and you are underway. And that's where we'll call it.
Was that a short rest or a long rest?
You guys have a long rest.
Okay.
Woohoo!
And you're all 4th level. So
Yeah.
Kitty, you will be taking 2nd level in Rogue. I think the game kind of played out that way.
Yep.
Thrax, for what it's worth, will be going to 3rd level Barbarian. Obviously, I don't know if you're interested in multi-classing, Tiffany. Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay, but let's make those decisions before we play next time, and we'll get all the changes made in advance.